going through that and then start my own meeting. So it invited my entire team. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And then I exited out, and then I'm getting notification. You've been invited to this meeting. You've been invited to this meeting. I'm like, guys, there's no meeting.
Are
It
you
was
on
an
your phone
accident.
again?
What's that?
Are you on your phone again?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have
Okay.
a camera anymore for my
Really?
computer. Yeah, it was 4 years old, and I got upset with it.
Are you guys all like cameras off for your work?
I mean, I never turn mine on unless it's like a one-on-one or something like that.
Hmm, cool. Yeah. No, that's great. My job doesn't really ask me to either, and thank God, man, I hate it. It's the worst.
I can't stand it. I don't want to be on camera like when I don't have to be. This is fine, but like, what's the point of just seeing me do this? Like,
Well, I
what does it
I
matter if
don't.
I'm making a pot of coffee or not, or listen? I'm still. I got my headset and I'm
Yeah,
listening.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I do think that like at some point I'm like if my startup actually like makes like money, like I'll have to hire people, and if we hire remote people, I think I'll require cameras on for everything because I think people pay attention a lot less well, but whatever. I prefer it for myself, but it's like, do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. But
Yeah,
I don't know. But anyways, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. Work's going well. We're in the middle of rut for hunting season, so
Mhm.
it's the best time of the year. I made a deal with my director. I was like, if I write 2 loans before noon and I have one sent down, so 3 clicks on the day, everybody's called. I've maxed out my lead allocation for the day. Everybody's emailed and texted. Then I'm out at 3:30 so I can go in the woods.
Wow,
And he said, yeah, so
that's
I'm here
awesome.
for it. Yeah, yeah, it is because it's slow times right now, but I don't know how I'm still finding ways to write loans, but I just keep happening to get lucky every day. I wrote 2 today before 11 o'clock and just coasted the rest of the day. So I cleaned my whole house. I have my
You're
headset
you're
on, so
you're you're in it, man. You're excited.
yeah. Anytime I have a what's it called, like a chat or a phone call, it rings in my headset, so I can answer it from wherever I'm at. And like today, I literally did the dishes, did the floor, swept, mopped, vacuumed the ceiling, vacuumed the cobwebs and stuff, vacuumed all the fans. Like I did everything today and got paid to do it the whole time. So part-time house
Yeah,
cleaner,
every
housemaid.
once in a while I'll like go through in a load of laundry or something, and it's nice because like at first I used to carry my phone everywhere, and now I just like it comes to my watch,
Yep.
so it's like I know
So
if
you just
someone's
do the.
calling me.
I
Yeah.
haven't set mine up yet because I think that's a. Oh, it's doing it right now. It already did it.
Doing what?
It's this thing when you do this and it like registers your. You have to set it up.
Was it registering?
Like when you do this, it registers your muscle movement in your wrist, and now doing this answers a call or shuts off an alarm or anything like that, which I
Oh
thought
wow,
was terrible for shutting off an alarm because all I got to do is like, and pass out for 3 more
that's
hours.
crazy. I didn't even
Mm-hmm.
know. I never heard of that. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's with the new update.
Wow.
Yeah, it's super cool. But that's where AI is taking us. First, it's the watches. Now we've got. Did you hear the Taylor Swift breakup song
No.
about Kelsey? The AI generated Taylor Swift breakup song about what's gonna
Oh,
happen.
oh my God.
It's actually a banger. It's pretty
I'm
good.
sure. Dude, I guarantee you my kids will not care if it's made by AI or not. Like
Mm-hmm.
it'll just be normal at that point that no one gets credit for any music ever again.
Yep.
And it's a little sad, but I think it's the future. That's just kind of how it is.
Yeah, I think it's awful. It leaves zero creativity space in brain power. Like,
No, I think people are going to be super creative, but I think it just, if anything, it like lowers the bar, I think, to entry. Like you don't have to
yeah,
even know anything about music at all, and you can just knock stuff together and make good stuff. If anything, like the it'll be indistinguishable between good and really good because no one will like your brain can't catch up to what AI is doing, you know?
Right, but like I got buddies that like have never worked IT in their life, had no idea about it,
Mhm.
and all they do is just ask ChatGPT like,
Yeah.
how do I fix this? And it just fixes everything for them. Like it's ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, I use ChatGPT a lot for work, and it arguably, I don't know. I mean, if you it like it's funny because if you're the worker, or I'm sorry, if you want that job, you're like frustrated by that. But if you have that job, you're like easy button. And if you own the company, you're like,
Yep.
can I pay you less?
Right.
You know, can I get a lesser worker? Or can I
That's
just
what's going on
ask
with
you
my
to go
buddy right
way
now.
faster? Or are you just twice as productive now? I mean, like
Yeah.
chicken or the egg, you
That's
know?
that's what my buddy's talking about with the owners of his company because he's the head of the IT department. He's literally set up their entire business. Like he's got them by the balls. Like if they lose him, he's gone. Like they're screwed.
Yeah.
And he's got a couple guys under him, and they're like, "What do you think about introducing AI and getting rid of Taylor?" Like, wow,
Well, that's a
that's not really
very
how that works, but
very smart sentence.
right. Well, there's
Uh,
are people that don't know anything about AI but are seeing other companies use it, and they're just like, "Well, we should do AI and get rid of people," and they don't even know what it entails.
yeah.
But
Um, so we're kind of at that age now where we have to leave the door open or else she'll, freak out. And
uh,
she's on the run. So I gotta go check on what she's doing upstairs because she's not in bed anymore. So
love that.
she's doing something. All right, one sec.
That's incredible. Hmm. All right. Well, I'm gonna pull up the Wings game here. I know it's an intermission, but oh no, it's not. We're back. All right.
Let's see if it's falling there board and see what happens and take it always out of it. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, let's just put it out there. Yeah, we should. Yeah. Well, great. Yeah. Yeah. We should see how much she would pay for it and the realtor. So we should see. That's good. Yeah, ask her about her report or by month or whatever. Ask her all that stuff. I think that's a good person to ask. Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay. Yeah, we can work through that. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's because you're injecting your actual. Yeah. 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 I I agree. I do think that. I'm sorry. Um, sorry, I'm gonna follow my friend. But yeah, we'll talk later. But check out the pitch, and we'll keep thinking. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Jesus Christ, I'm so sorry.
Oh, dude, you're fine. I don't have anything to do. I got nothing going on. I'm just got the Wings game on the right monitor or left monitor, and yep. I think you might be ahead of me because I'm watching it on a stream, but
Me too. Yeah, I steal it from I steal a tablet from my kids. And I got the NFL on the other TV going.
yep, I've got got the Steelers game going.
Did you win your parlay?
No, I did not. Devontae Adams got shut down, dude. He didn't do a damn thing. Garoppolo is just
That was
trash.
rough. Yeah, it was rough. I I I don't know if you've like thought about this, but like I feel like in the NFL there's a lot of up down theory
Mm,
that goes on. And so like I don't know why. I think it's something like the team only has 3 days to prepare for next game, so they only really watch the last game's tape. And in doing so, they usually like overcommit to whoever had a good game last week. And so like if the tight ends had a really good game that previous week, they're gonna have a really bad game the next week. If the wide receivers had a really good game, like if the slot receiver had a really good game, I mean accounting for like certain cornerbacks are really good at covering the slot or whatever. But
mm,
like Will Levis had 4 touchdowns last game, and I go, he's gonna get trashed today because they
mm-hmm.
all have tape on him, and they're gonna go, all right, if
That's what he
is he that
does. Let's
is
double
he
team.
yeah is he that good? Let's throw some people at him, and not to mention the Steelers are usually pretty good into the quarterback. So I could have picked him up for fantasy, and I was like, there's no way he's gonna have a good game, you know? And I don't know if that's true everywhere, but like I feel like that's I don't know. I feel like that theory has been working for me with a lot of this stuff. So
I feel like that's a reasonable argument, honestly.
I just noticed it. Like I've noticed that if a running back has like 2 or 3 bad games in a row, they usually have a really good game coming because it's like rubber band effect. The defense stops planning for them. The coaches all look at the tape of their own team. They go, we got to get so and so moving, like some crap like that, and then they start
Yeah.
giving them more carries. So usually if a player like I was betting on OBJ last week because he's had pretty much no, he gets 4 or 5 targets every game, but he has pretty much no catches. And I'm like, it's only a matter of time before someone goes, we got to get OBJ more in this game, and the defense stops watching him, and he goes, they throw 2 Hail Marys to him. But I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, that makes sense.
He's kind of washed up though, so but that's been my theory.
Yeah. It's OBJ. I mean,
He's old now. He's got 2 torn ACLs. He's like almost 30 or 31.
yeah, he's real old. No, but he is washed up, and he's got attitude issues every which way you go. So
Yeah. Dude, it's Graham's birthday today. He turns 34. Is that crazy? He's a whole year older than us.
that is kind of nuts.
Like there's people we went to school with that are a whole year older than us. Like my wife is an 89 birthday, but she was born in February. And so we're only 1 year apart in like school, but we're like a year and 8 months apart or whatever. Year and yeah, like 8 months apart in real life. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is kind of nutty. I've always been the youngest in my class, though. Like, oh, forever.
Well, yeah, until you met me.
Well, yeah, of course. That 2.5 weeks makes a big difference, as you can see.
I'm what they call gifted.
Mm, and apparently ageless as well. I think you're the
Yeah, I'm
Antichrist.
getting some gray hairs, man. It freaks me out. I pull them out. I like don't
You
know what to
still
do
get
about
ID'd when you buy liquor.
it. I haven't been ID'd in a while, but yeah, it happens sometimes.
I get nothing. Nothing. Just I was like 24 or 25 when some young 16-year-old kid at the self checkout at Meijer just hit the over 40 button for me, and I was like, "This mother."
When I was a cashier, they didn't. I don't know if they had a button or that. I don't know if they do have a real button. I always used to type my age in, like my birth date, just like in
Mm,
1980. You know, as
yeah,
like an easy like you're 70 years old. I'm not going to bother you with this. But
right.
yeah,
I was offended on a whole other degree. Like, I was so upset.
I feel like the beard is most of it, though. You know.
Yeah, it is. It is. But still, still want to fight that person. Oh man, Red Wings need a goal.
It's still 1-0.
Yeah.
Dude, you watch the other game? Or no, you didn't watch the other game.
Mm-mm. I didn't. I went to tune in and it was already over.
They were down 2-0, looked hopeless. Score two, give up the third game go-ahead goal, and they score with 28 seconds to go to tie it up, and then they win it overtime. It was crazy.
That is nuts. Did I tell you what happened when I brought my buddy Aaron to Detroit and we went to the home opener
No, what happened? Yeah, that was like what, last weekend or 2 weekends ago?
2 weekends ago? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just planned on brewery hopping and everything like that. I took him to Sherwood. I took him to dinner at a Capitol Grill and everything because he had never been to a place like that. He had never had food like that.
He
So
only went to Bennigan's his whole life.
pretty much, pretty much. No, they don't even have that out here. Um,
What's the go-to out there? Shoney's?
Champs.
Sorry, go
Champs
ahead.
is like the higher end.
Champs is not bad.
No, it's not, but still. Like if I go to Pittsburgh or something like that, it's different. But that yeah, out here there's nothing. There is a sushi place here that has the best sushi I've ever had, and it's in the middle of nowhere. I don't understand why they're
Really?
here making sushi, but it's the best sushi I've ever had. So good and really really well put together. So they're fantastic. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I can't have sushi.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's unfortunate. So what's new with you, man?
Um, oh, I'm moving to New Orleans.
Hmm?
Do you know that?
No.
Oh, you're not on social medias. Yeah, my wife got a fellowship. So like the 25th of October was a big day because we found out if we got a fellowship or not. 26th was our anniversary. 29th was my birthday. The 31st was Halloween, obviously. It's been a crazy week. Um,
Wow.
so yeah, she got a fellowship. She got her dream job in New Orleans. So we're moving there next July, give or take.
Thank God you don't live in Ohio anymore.
I know, right? It's been a rough couple years.
I bet, dude. I bet.
Yeah, like the thing is too is like we live in this house and it's a nice house and everything, but like I don't know. I knew it was temporary when I moved here. Like I knew like we were moving away. Like we were gonna like raise our family in Toledo. So
Yeah.
like it's just been a long amount of years to know this isn't like your forever spot. I feel like you've been through this too. It's like
Yeah.
and kind of I mean it feels like home, but it's like it's not like I haven't like we haven't in 6 years we haven't repainted a single wall. You know, like it's like it doesn't feel
That's a
like we should
pretty
put
good
any
tell.
effort in. Yeah, we just don't like put any effort into it. So I don't know. It'll be nice to like have that forever home eventually, and it'll be cool to like live in New Orleans for a year. Um, I am a little sad that it looks like they don't have any hockey rinks in the whole state of Louisiana, which is insane. Um,
That makes sense.
closest one's like an hour and a half away, so I can't play hockey for a year, which kind of sucks. But you know.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
it'll be cool, like living. I mean, the hospital's like right downtown too, so it's like we're gonna like probably live somewhere downtown-ish, and be able to go hang out, and some people gave us some babysitter contacts and stuff already. It's just, I
oh,
think
okay.
the hardest part is gonna be like deciding to like sell this house or rent it out or something, and whatever, we'll
Yeah.
figure it out. It's just I told myself I would give it a week before I freak out, and that day has passed, so I should be freaking out now. So I gotta
No, we
start
got
planning it.
nothing to freak out about, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like renting out or like moving with two kids, four cats. It's gonna like getting this house like ready to be either sold or leased is gonna take some work. And
Sell, 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 sell,
really,
sell
oh, you're
high.
a good person to ask about this. Okay, so if I sell high though, I have to pay capital gains tax if I don't buy another house in 90 days. Am I wrong?
I'm not a tax expert, but I believe you're correct.
So I have 90 days to buy another house, or I have to pay taxes on 100 grand and effectively forfeit 30 grand of money. So what would you do? Would you bet 1 year that you can break even on a lease because the lease will give me 2 grand a month, give or take, and the mortgage plus utilities is like $1,500 a month plus tenants being assholes or whatever. Like I bet I'll break even on it, and or the market not crash in the next year, and I'll get a similar price. Let's just assume similar to not be all weird about it. Or would you sell it and try to buy another house somewhere else to save 30 grand? Or and you don't know where that place is, you don't know. Like I was thinking about buying a house in Atlanta and letting my sister live there for a year, and then hopefully we move there. I don't know, but it saves me 30 grand and saves her from paying rent for another year. I don't know.
Yeah.
Technically, that's illegal. It's supposed to be my home, but I think the government won't care. But that's just kind of like the two options I feel like I have. So
Yeah, that is a tough call. I mean, if
I'm
you were
with you
going to
on
make a
selling
solid
selling high.
profit
I
off of
mean,
it,
yeah.
then I mean,
Maybe I'm worried about the 30 grand, not the 70, that I'll be making, but
right. Because you got to think, I mean, when rates regulate and the economy regulates, home values are going to drop substantially. I mean, they've gone up like 30% over the last like 2.5 years.
See, why is that true? I feel like the opposite should be true.
Hmm.
That if the rates come back down, that more people will be able to afford houses like this, which will drive up demand.
No, it's not. It's not that way right now. The purchasing has not stopped. Purchasing is at an all-time high right now.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I thought it like new mortgage applications is like the lowest since 1995 right now.
purchases are going higher than refinances right now.
Yeah, but that makes sense, right? I mean, refinances are way down because, well, who is refinance right now? Like, what kind of crazy loan would you be in that you'd have to refinance into this?
There's a lot of people. I'm writing two a day,
I thought you like
consolidating debt.
we talked like a month ago, and we were like you were saying it's really hard to find people. Am
It
I?
was, and then we opened up a new
It changed
partnership
in,
with New Lead Flow, and
so it was leads. It was a lead problem.
yeah,
That's interesting. So you're getting the wrong kind of leads for the market or for your offerings or what?
just low qualifying people. And then we opened up a new partnership with, I can't remember the name of the company. I don't even know if I'm allowed to discuss it or not.
No, that's
Um,
fine. But that's crazy. So maybe your marketing or partnerships had only been driving low quality leads and low quality candidates for your
mhm.
product, and it was a marketing problem. That's funny. Like your bonus this year might have been a marketing problem, not an economy problem.
Yeah,
I'd be upset if I was you.
yeah. I mean, nobody's really all that happy about what's been going on. So
Yeah.
it's been a pain. It's been a real pain. But now things have flipped around, and I'm I'm back on top of not where I was, obviously, but it's a lot more consistent. Everything's a lot easier.
Good. That's
So
great.
yeah, I'm happy with that. Definitely happy with that. And we changed our we lowered our goals and upped our comp plan and everything like that. So
Hmm.
this next month's loans are gonna pay out double what they were, which is huge.
Do you think they gamify it on purpose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have to.
Why?
Because otherwise there would be no drive. You know?
That's amazing. Well, like you wouldn't have the same amount of drive if you were an owner in the company. Because like
Probably not.
Amazon's model is give everyone stocks more than pay them, and call them an owner and pretend they're owners and whatever, and everyone's in charge of getting us to be a $2 trillion company. Because then if we do, we all make $1 million, kind of thing. Um, but it's a different. I guess it's a like a longer term kind of thought process. It's like a 10-year thing.
Yeah. But I mean, whatever they're doing right now, it's working because everybody seems to be coming out on top now.
Yeah,
Everybody
cool.
seems to be doing pretty well. So
That's
there's
crazy.
obviously, people struggling, but
I thought the interest rates were gonna have to change for that to happen. That's kind of nuts.
no, people like it's because the way that we're selling everything. Like we're selling the future. We're selling the immediate and we're selling the near future because we know that the economy can't sustain as it is. Otherwise, you know, everybody's going to be foreclosing on their house. I'm still turning away tons of people. Don't get me wrong. Like
Hmm.
I deny out probably 10 loans a day with people that don't qualify with their credit or their debt to income ratio is too terrible or something. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a tough time, but I'm still grinding, still doing what I got to do. So that's all I care. And I'm saving up a lot of PTO now because I'm not really taking any days off, and because I'm doing better now. I actually made a deal with my director. Did I already tell you this?
Mhm.
Yeah, I did. See, I'm stoned a little bit, so we'll walk in a circle.
Do you do that?
When I'm high, yeah,
You walk in circles?
yeah.
Me too, dude. That's so funny. Helps me think.
Hmm.
I don't know why. It's
I do
usually when
laps
deep
around
in
my house.
thought.
I told you I do laps around my house with the backpack on.
I do laps in the house like I do laps from on the phone, but I also do laps when I'm feeling pretty good because it just usually it's because I'm really like working through thing I just learned. Like I read something really cool in a book or I watched something cool on YouTube and I'm just like, oh my God, like like I'm always like applying it to the company that I'm
Hmm.
building. Um, but I'm sure it's super nerdy and stupid and it's usually things that never matter. But it feels so important in the moment, right?
Of course, but my brain function, I can already tell is slipping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My mom mailed us two separate birthday cards for Luther. So I
love
think
that.
that's a good sign of something that's happening, possibly.
Yeah.
They both they
Oh,
both said the exact same thing in the middle and the inside.
did they really?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. Oh, gotta love the parents.
You see this?
Oh, that's too good.
I'm gonna leave them both on the counter next time she comes over.
Don't torture her like that.
I just want to see if she notices. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's really funny. Now, I thought that my parents would start to be further along on the slipping, but
No?
they're doing all right.
I think they're too much of like planners and worriers, I think they're gonna be like worrying when they're 80, like they're gonna
Hmm.
be like thinking about the future and not, whatever. I think it's gonna be scary. They're very pessimistic, aren't they?
Hmm.
They're very scarcity mindset.
They live in fear. They're Catholic.
They live in sorrow. They live in forgiveness. Yeah.
Yep. everything is out to get you.
I was
Everything's an attack.
so I try to, I don't know if you saw it. I do like business coaching with this guy named Trevor.
Hmm.
Um, also as part of this like podcast thing or whatever the hell this is anymore. Um, and he said something like this and that and this and that, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. And he goes, oh, you're Catholic? And I just you immediately start saying sorry, like Catholic guilt for everything. And I was like, I never thought of it that way. That, I don't know. I think it's my anti-conflict nature, but
Yeah, yeah, that's probably a bit to do with it as well. But I have become less apologetic as I've gotten older.
me too. I'm trying. I'm trying to not care more. I mean, that's the whole point of this too, right? I mean,
Right.
this is me trying to care less about what people think of me.
Yeah. Yeah. I stopped caring a while ago and just started doing stuff for me. Not in like a selfish, like screw everybody else manner, but like I used to make decisions based on what everybody else wanted to hear and see and everything. Like that's all I ever did.
That's all I do.
And I just picked up and left one day, was tired of it. And now I'm a selfish, crotchety old man that tells people to get off his lawn. But there's nobody there.
Yeah,
That's just
I
my
went the other way.
schizophrenia.
I just got really good at it, and now everyone loves me.
Yeah. People still like me, but I've made it a point to make sure that not everybody likes me. Because if everybody likes me, then, I don't have anybody to chat shit about. And I enjoy that way too much.
How are you doing with your goals?
Good, good. Um, been hovering like the last week around 297, 300, just back and forth because I, went to Detroit and had some beers and ate some food and stuff, and then came back for a Halloween party at Ashley's, and I had some food there. Like I stayed pretty close to what I was doing, but still the drinks and stuff add up. So
Yeah. No, I'm in
so
the
I
same
got
boat.
back to like 305 and then lost. Like when I came back from Detroit, I was back up to 310, then I dropped down to 297, and then I went back to Detroit and I was back up to like 301, and that's like, mostly water weight from being a little hungover, but other than
Yeah,
that, I've been, I'm still measuring all of my food every day and doing all the things. So
yeah. No, the trick is to like not go into like effort land, right? Like,
exactly,
because
exactly.
I've been kind of off track with all the birthday cake and Halloween candy everywhere in my house right now. But
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I didn't hand out candy this year because I was just not feeling like having strangers come to my house. So out here, you just turn the lights off and nobody shows up. But
I
I
was gonna
live
say,
like at the bottom of the top of the mountain, if that makes any
I was gonna
sense.
say, I think you're so far from everybody. I think like we only get like two trick or treaters, and we live in a suburb, like
Right.
in a subdivision. So
Yeah, yeah. Like here, like to my left, down the road, my closest neighbor is 1.8 miles away.
why would they come to your house? They wouldn't come.
And then to my right, it's like a quarter mile, and then there's like that big intersection of the mountain, which has like four houses, and then it's like every, I don't know, there's like a couple acres of farmland, and then like a couple houses scattered, and then like a bunch of acres of farmland, and it's few and far between. I'd say on the whole road, there's maybe 30 houses
Hmm.
for like a 5 or 6 mile spread.
When do you start training for your half marathon? When is like I know people have like regimens. Like when's that start? Is it like a 5 month thing or is it like a 2 month thing?
4 month thing.
Look,
It's a
so
4 month
soon,
thing.
right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. So February or no, like January, I'll probably start
Mm,
because April 28th is the date. So
mm. That was in March. Yeah, okay.
yeah. So I'm just gonna be probably doing it at the gym on a treadmill, obviously, because out here I can't. There's there's no flat land, and right now everything is just ice.
We just do a loop in your house.
Yeah,
You
I
see
don't
that
think.
during COVID, a guy ran a marathon in his house just doing the loop. He did it like 15 million times.
I mean, I do like four miles a day in my house with my backpack on.
Yeah, man, that's halfway there almost.
Yeah, and then I mean, but that's walking, like I'm not running. I'm walking around with a 60-pound backpack on, which is awesome.
I'm up to um I'm up to 23 pull-ups, which is pretty
That's
cool,
crazy. I'm almost
right?
able to do one now.
That's really good, dude. I have a friend that's 180 and he can't do one, and he's like pretty fit. So I never thought that was like a really good thing for me. I never thought it was like
Yeah,
I mean, whatever, like
the average person can't do one.
yeah, but like you benching whatever 350 or whatever you can bench like is
360.
insane to me. I could never do that. Like,
I mean, you could, but it would take you a
I-
couple years.
yeah, no, I mean, I'm trying to get to if I can do like 70, that would get me pretty far along with my goal of trying to do that Murph challenge.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Have you been watching your diet and everything like that, and like eating more protein and doing stuff, or not really? Just kind of doing the exercises.
Um, I like the answer is no. The answer is like I don't know what to do, and I also like kind of I haven't like put in the effort to learn, so I don't know. I know I crave protein sometimes. I noticed that, but I don't know. I should
Why don't you
probably
just
learn all
download
that
My
stuff.
Fitness Pal?
Yeah, I have it. I mean, it doesn't tell you what to do though.
Yes, it does. Tells you exactly what to do. That's what I'm doing. Like food wise, it tells you exactly what you need. You put in your goal. I'm gonna gain 2 pounds a week of muscle, and you put in your goal, and it'll give you the macros.
But I don't want to gain weight though. I want to lose weight.
You want to lose weight? I thought you
Yeah,
wanted to get big. I thought you were trying to get like shredded.
yeah, but that means losing fat, gaining muscle, right?
Yeah, that's gonna gain weight. It's not gonna lose weight.
I think
That's why
people
I'm
have
kind of
this.
plateauing right now because I started lifting a lot more and I'm gaining a solid amount of muscle. I can already feel it and see it. It's very noticeable. So
That's what I disagree about. I think that is the excuse for a lot of people, and it's not actually true. That you're not actually getting that much muscle. It's actually just like a very, very small amount, and the weight is actually just water weight or whatever. I'm not
it's
just
not
about. I'm
true.
not. It's not about you. I just that's what I think about everyone when they say that.
Well, yeah, it's used as an excuse. Well, I lift weights and everything like that. Yeah, I've used that before, but now I like actually see it visibly. Like my legs are getting sculpted, even though I have loose skin and fat and everything towards the top. Like my quads are poking through, my calves are massive, my arms are getting massive again. Like I have solid definition. Like
Yeah,
it's
I don't know. I
100%.
mean, we can
And
agree to disagree. I just don't
well, I
think
measure it. I measure it on my scale. My scale has one of those sensors that puts it through and tells you your muscle mass and everything like that. I've gained like 3% in muscle mass over the last like 2 months.
okay. Yeah, I don't. I mean, working out for 140 days, whatever I'm at. I don't think I've gained 5 pounds worth of muscle. I doubt that.
Well, you're not doing workouts to build mass right now. You're doing body weight stuff, right?
I just do push-ups, pull-ups, and squats. That's all I do.
Yeah, that's not going to gain you. That's not going to gain you muscle mass. That's going
Yeah,
to lean you out. So if you want to gain muscle mass, you have to lift weights.
yeah. Weights scare me. I don't like weights.
Why?
I don't know. They feel very pretentious.
What's wrong with getting healthy?
No, well, okay. Let's back up there. I feel like healthy is different than Gorilla Man. I feel like people mistake actual cardio, which is actually healthy for you, versus like doing bicep curls. Like I feel like that's not like I feel like that won't people that do bicep curls don't live longer, you know?
Well, if that's all you do, no. Like, see, you have this stigma of lifting weights as you have to get gorilla huge no matter what if you're lifting weights. You don't. To gain muscle, you have to lift a little bit heavier than you're comfortable with. But that's it. That doesn't mean that you have to get gorilla huge just from lifting weights. I'm not trying to get gorilla huge. I'm just trying to get big enough to where there's not as much skin removal and there's not as hard of a recovery process.
Yeah, no, I don't think I don't think I have all the answers. I just
Stop
first of
trying to
all, weights.
apologize and be non-confrontational. Have the
First of all,
conversation.
first of all, weights scare me. I always think they're gonna like land on me or hurt me or something. Second of all, I don't want to have them in the house because it's like another thing I have to like move and worry about and lift and change with every time we like have a new workout room or whatever, or like the kids will play with it or hurt themselves or something. And third of all, I I don't know. I think often the solution to the problem of I'm overweight or I have too much weight on me is to replace that same amount of weight with fat with the fat with muscle. And it's kind of this like never-ending game where you're like the only way to like look better is to gain more muscle, not you don't actually like lose any weight. And I feel like it ends up with like a very like thick body. And I think it's harder to maintain because you have all the fat and muscle flowing together rather than actually the fat being lost. But
Well, if you're consistent, the fat's not just going to stay. If you keep on a consistent diet and you consistently work out, your fat's just not going to stay. It's not going to just be like, hey, now there's muscle and no fat is gone. When you're lifting, your body's still burning calories 24 hours after you lift for the recovery.
yeah, I just feel like
And
for
when you're
every
doing cardio, cardio obviously is good for your heart and everything like that. But for losing weight, cardio actually teaches your body to retain for the energy.
do you have any friends or anybody in your life that has the body you want?
No,
Me neither.
nobody has my body shape.
Me neither. That's the problem. Is like I don't know who to like even talk to or take advice from because I feel like nobody.
It's not
I
specific to that at all. You just do the exercises and your body will take its own shape. You don't have to want to look like somebody. You just don't have to look better than you.
no, but I mean like I think it's like I want to talk to somebody who actually does the thing and does the exercises or eats the way or whatever. The person that actually has the actual body that I want. I want to know what their actual life is like because I doubt because I feel like the people that want to give all these like talks on YouTube or whatever, all these different people that have opinions. I feel like everyone I've ever talked to about fitness has a strong opinion about something, and also they don't have the body I want. So I don't know if I should even trust them, you know? Like
I
that's the
mean, I
hard part for
studied
me.
nutrition and health intensively and was almost a personal trainer
Yeah,
at one
yeah,
point.
you
And
did. You're
I
right.
read books. You do it on your own, you know? If you're doing the right things, you're going to see the results.
Yeah.
It doesn't
No, I
matter what
mean,
anybody else has an opinion of. You just eat healthy, get sleep, drink enough water, and lift and balance cardio, and you will get in better shape. You will be happier. You'll be healthy. I think that lifting weights would really benefit you
yeah.
just in mental health. It's a great stress reliever
What's the difference between lifting weights and doing pull-ups?
because it feels stronger. It's a mental thing. It feels heavy. Pull-ups, if you can just do 23 pull-ups, that's one thing. But when you're lifting to get larger, you want to stay in your range. If you're trying to build like a solid amount of muscle, you want to stay in the range of 7 to 12 repetitions, and that like 12th repetition is a struggle.
Yeah. I mean, the 23rd pull-up's a struggle. That's why I only do 23 of them.
Right, right. But I'm saying like to build muscle, like what you're doing is not going to build you muscle. It will build you strength, but it will not build you
Oh,
muscle.
okay. There we go. Explain that to me. What's the difference?
So lean muscle mass is dense. It's very dense. It's just like you think of like turkey, lean turkey. Obviously, with less fat, it's more dense. It's more turkey. So lean muscle mass is built by what you're doing body weight exercises consistently, increasing the amount that you're doing, and that builds strength. If you want to build mass, then you do like I'm talking about like bodybuilder mass. You're doing 5 to 7 repetitions of extremely heavy weight, and like the fourth rep is a struggle, and you're still pushing it out to 7. That's what those guys do. They don't do tons and tons and tons and tons of lightweight with high rep. You won't see them do that at all.
Yeah. So at some point I need to pull the trigger and um like put the weighted vest down that I bought and go to 20 pounds or 40 pounds, 60 pounds on my back. And that'll make the pull up not my weight. It'll be my weight plus whatever that
Yeah,
is.
that's definitely a thing.
Yeah, I was trying to decide when that should be, when I should do that. I was thinking like at the 25 mark or 20 or something like that. I should switch down and then that I'll only have to do 10 of them or something, but I'll be doing them at instead of 165, I'll be doing them at 185, something like that. So that's kind of
So
where I was at. It's like at what point I'm doing 75 squats now. I do 28 push-ups now. I push myself that every day I add one to one of the three. Mostly it's squats because those are the easiest ones, and it takes me my body. It's like I think like between 3 and 6 days right now to add another one to either pull-ups or push-ups. Um, but if I add more squats, I add more squats. I can just power through them. I don't like I never fall over because it's too hard. But I couldn't decide when to pull the trigger on the vest because I feel like it's gonna
I would
mess
have
up
done
my
that
whole
at
routine.
15.
Hmm?
I would have added 20 pounds at 15.
Well, I just got the vest this week, so
No, I know,
but
but I'm just saying, like, so now's a good time to start and try and see if you can hit 15 with the 20-pound vest on. It's a vest. It's distributed throughout all your body, so it's not just like it's not going to feel like what you think it feels like when you're doing a pull up with it.
what does that mean?
Like I have a 60-pound backpack on my back, but when I have it strapped on properly, it doesn't feel like I have 60 pounds on my back. My legs aren't struggling or anything like that because it's properly distributed throughout my body and there's the proper it's getting held up by this strap and this strap and this strap, and it's all stationed here. So it's not as difficult as if you were just to have these straps and you're leaning back and walking all funny. So with the vest, it's not going to change your form or your positioning at all. It's just sitting on you. It's just extra weight on you. So
Yeah.
that's not gonna it's not gonna make a difference. You're not gonna notice very much of a difference in
Okay.
terms of volume for the first 20 pounds. But I think that if you start tomorrow, I bet you could knock out. I bet you could probably still knock out 20 with a 20-pound vest on.
Oof, I don't know about that, man. I think I could do like 12.
I don't know.
It's so funny. Like the pull-ups are so funny. Like I can like once I hit number 4, I'm like I can't do 20 of these things. Like and then I get to 8 and I'm like screw it. I can do this. But like some days the 17th one really sucks and sometimes the 21st one really sucks.
I
But
never
usually
count in the full amount that I want to do. I always count in
oh,
fives.
oh,
Always in
okay.
fives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I
4.
lose track of it. I started doing that, but in the squats I lost track of what I was doing, so I had to actually do the full numbers.
It's just an easy way to get out of the mentality of I have 15 more to go instead of I have 3 sets of 5 left. That sounds way better.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I did it with push-ups. Like for the army, that's how I did it with push-ups. Like I would do it in I would count in fives, and I ended up being able to crank out 40 in 35 seconds, like over time, just because I counted that way and I was able to beat the mental. But before, when I was counting, and it was a struggle. I would get to 15, and I'd be like, "Fuck, man! Like I got to do 35 more of these. Like there's no way." And then I'd struggle at once I hit 20, I'd have to go in a rest position real quick and then back out of it. I was never mentally being able to break through that barrier until I started. One of my buddies told me, count in increments of 5. Just count in increments of 5 and you'll be fine. And that's helped me tremendously. But
Okay,
yeah,
so maybe I'll do
like
that. I'll do 20. Maybe I'll try to build up to get to 20. And if once I get to 20, then I'll add 5 or 10 pounds to my body. Because the other thing I'm not trying to do is I'm trying to do this every day, and I don't want to like rip all my
fatigue
muscles apart.
yourself and like yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't want to like tear a bicep or something stupid because I did it every day, and it's like, and I was actually really, really working my arms or something. I just realized that something about my humanness is like I can't stick to something if it's like every other day or whatever. I just like I need to do it every day or it's over. I'll just lose track of it or something. So that's what I've been trying to build. So if I do it every day, what do you think? Do you think adding 10 pounds or 5 pounds at a time to get back to 15 or 20? I feel like you're gonna say 15 and you're gonna say
5.
10 pounds.
No,
Okay,
5 pounds at a time.
5 pounds. So I should start wearing a 5 pound vest and I should build up to get to 20 or 15. Because I can do this with pull-ups
20.
and push-ups. 20. So I'll get to 20 pull-ups and push-ups, and then I'll add another 5. Every time I can get to 20 pull-ups and push-ups, I'll add another 5.
Yep.
And maybe with squats, I should build up to, I guess, 75. I'm at 75 already. So I don't know. Squats are weird. I don't know what to do with those.
Yeah, you can do it slowly and consistently like that, and that will build muscle over time, and that'll be lean muscle all the way through. That will absolutely happen, and you will lose all of your fat by doing that if you continuously do that. But there's going to come a point where you are going to get sore, and it's going to be very hard the next day once you start putting enough weight on it.
So, I mean, like, I've been sore certain days, but usually I can power through the workout for the next day. And then usually by the following day, I'm better. So I don't know.
Yeah, see, I'm doing like I'm concentrating 2 muscle groups for every workout. So like I go to the gym. Sometimes I'll go 2 days in a row, but mostly I try to go like every other day. I was doing a lot more cardio in between when it wasn't freezing out and everything and taking Zoopy for hikes, but now that's kind of a little bit more difficult. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to be doing most of my cardio at the gym. But like I go through and I'll do a bicep exercise and then a chest exercise and then bicep chest, and I'll go through and I'll do like 4 exercises for each. Every time I get there, I start with a warm-up weight, half of what my normal rep weight is, and I do 15 of those to get my muscle groups moving and everything, and then I'll start my 3 sets of, you know, 10 to 12 reps. That's what I'm working on right now. So there's still a little bit of a cardio aspect to it, and heavier breathing instead of just 7 to 10 and trying to get massive, because I'm trying to build a little bit of lean muscle at the same time, because I want to make sure that I'm getting rid of fat while I'm lifting. Like I don't want to just bulk up. That's not what I'm trying to do right now. So but when I do a workout like that, I can't do biceps and chest again the next day, because
Yeah.
I've overexerted myself for that specific reason. So the next day, that's when I'll do like legs and abs and back or something like that, something a little bit lighter that is again more cardio based. And
Yeah, I hate that. I hate being sore all day. That's another reason why I don't lift weights. I just don't like it. I don't like being sore all day. Like, how do you deal with that?
I love it. I
You
know,
like being
because I know
sore?
that it means that I'm getting larger. It
I
means that my muscles are building.
I feel that way for like 2 weeks, and then I'm like, I can't live like
Oh,
this. This is like I'm not happy. Like this is not cool.
I've been
Like
doing it
picking up my
for
children hurts. I don't
five
want it to
months
hurt.
now.
Yeah, I don't like being sore. So that's why I've been doing it very gradually so I don't get sore.
Nobody
So
likes being sore. You just have to train your mind to think this is good for my body and it's helping. Nobody likes eating raw green vegetables, but it's it's good for you
yeah.
and it's good for your body, you know. A lot of the things that are really good for you nobody likes. So, it's just the way that I look at it is I don't eat food for taste anymore. I've trained myself to not eat food for taste, and that this is fuel for my body. So like on Halloween when I was drinking, like I knew I was going to feel like shit the next day. I knew that the food was going to mess with my gut because I've been eating super, super clean. And it's just, I'm just going to accept it, have a good time with friends, and that's it. The next day I felt awful. My gut was all messed up and everything. It was pretty trashed for like 2 days. And
Yeah.
I didn't drink that much, but because I wasn't constantly smashing water like I am at home, my body naturally felt dehydrated and I got a headache from it. I never felt like the full like, oh, I'm gonna throw up hangover or anything like that. But like I had the shits the next day because I was eating queso dip and mini Italian sandwiches at 8 o'clock at night. So like it is what it is. But now like I've learned to enjoy the things that I don't enjoy because I know that they're good for me. So that's kind of the mentality that I have going into it.
No, I had that mentality. I was vegan back in like 2014 for a while.
I remember.
Yeah. It was the same thing. Like something in my brain triggered, and it was like, why wouldn't I want to live the healthiest way? Like that's kind of like how I thought about the world for a while.
hmm
Like I, if I want to live forever, I need to do the best thing possible. Like, why wouldn't I want to put all the cards in my hand, best I can? So I don't know. I still believe that's a good idea, except believe I have less control over that. Like I think I shouldn't go nuts, but I think my life expectancy isn't going to drastically change if I have some pizza sometimes. Like it
No,
or and
my
so
brother does vegan 4 days a week. He
hmm,
does vegan 4 days a week, and then he does his, and he's not going crazy like, all right, it's not vegan day, so I'm gonna get a 16 patty Big Mac or anything like that. But
yeah.
I made a workout regimen for him and a diet for him, and he's been sticking to it, and he's losing weight. I've done it for 4 people at work too, and they're losing weight because there's a guy on my team, Adam, and he was he looked like he was 500 pounds, but he was only 350 pounds, and it's because he had no muscle whatsoever, no athletic ability, and he started doing what I told him to do and made like a workout regimen for him, very light, obviously, like body weight things and stuff like that, and just walking while you're talking to clients, and he's already down 22 pounds in 2 months. So
No, there's a lot of money there if you want to go into that department. I mean, but Carol's brother does that. He does like he has his own company where he does personal coaching
I just like doing it
and
on the side for
meal plans.
for fun, and
Yeah,
friends and
man.
family
No,
and
that's
stuff. But
great.
like, if uh
No,
if
I have
I
a
ever
problem where I
decide
turn
to,
every hobby into a career, so don't like assume I'm the
no, I know.
idiot.
I've always thought about going back through the NASM thing and just taking the test again because that's all I had. I got up to the test and then I had AT for 3 weeks and I didn't have time to take the test. So they were basically like, "Oh, well, you can pay another $850 for the course and then you can just skip to the test." And I was like,
Yeah, I'm good.
"Why can't you just let me take the test?" Well, the time's passed. So I know less now because the time has passed. I'm now no longer qualified to
Yeah,
take
yeah.
this test. Like,
Thanks. Thank you.
yeah. So there's your money maker. I tried to pull the whole. I was kind of a tool about it. I was like, I was on military duty protecting this country, and this is
Oh
what you're gonna
wow.
do. Yeah,
I'm
and
sure
they were
you pulled
they
that
they
out a
they
couple
were all
times.
shoulders. Do you still want to be a personal trainer? No, no, I don't.
I think
But
I
I
think
like knowing
technically
that I
they
have the
still
knowledge.
I think they would probably lose that lawsuit if you filed one.
It's $850. I would lose more in court fees.
No, I mean like they should let you take it. Like they're idiots. Like
Yeah,
the amount of like if you post on social media about that back then, like, you know,
yeah,
that would have been bad for them, but whatever.
yeah. It is what it is. I don't really care. I'm just,
Yeah.
you know, I got the knowledge. I know what I know, and I'm always reading up on new stuff and figuring out what's good for you, what's not, and trying different workout regimens. But I've got a good setup for what I'm doing right now, and probably gonna change a couple things up soon because I'm gonna be lacing up skates and
Oh
joining
yeah.
a little beer league out here. So
That's awesome, dude.
yeah, I'm
That's
really
gonna be
pumped for
fun.
that.
I'll
Yeah, it
say
is.
this. Like see, like we've known each other forever, and there was a point at when we were both like 13 or something when you were like, "Yeah, I'm totally gonna like start playing roller hockey for DSL." And we'd played hockey a few times at that point. I don't know how often, like maybe like
Hmm.
let's say 20 times or less. And but I don't know if I've ever seen you in rollerblades. And when you actually like got out there like on skates, I was totally, I mean, I hate to say it, I was totally anticipating like it not to go well because I'd never seen it, but you were pretty solid like for having like pretty much never played other than like for fun sometimes. Like I
Right.
was I was thoroughly surprised and looking back on it, I was like, God, I really underestimated Dave to like play hockey. Like I mean, you know what I mean? Like you weren't like killing it, but like you like got
No.
around with the same people that played every year their whole life, like
Yeah, I played literally in the cul-de-sac in my parents' place, like all summer, every summer we would play roller hockey out there.
isn't
Full
it
check
funny?
too. We would wreck each other.
See, I would too, but like I don't talk to any of those kids anymore. Like it's so funny, right? You just like
I
you're
work
all
with
just
them.
looking out the
The
window, who's
Steinwasser
playing.
family works at Rocket Mortgage.
Really?
So yeah, three of them.
That's funny.
And then one of them's the youngest one, Connor, is a realtor now. So they're all in the mortgage business. And
Wow.
yeah, I saw Spencer Steinwasser come across one of my leads, like he was attached to it, and I was like, no way. And I reached out to him, and we were
That's funny.
reminiscing about all the times we played soccer and roller hockey and everything, and it's just crazy how everything came full circle like that.
No, a dude from my old subdivision, you know that people that well, there's a lot of people, I guess, but one of them reached out to me because we found each other on startup school, and he's like
Mosheri?
trying, um, Bill Castro, and
Oh, really?
yeah, he's trying to start a company too, and so we like hooked up, and I don't he doesn't want to join my company, but it was funny, like we like interviewed him to like be a founder of our company.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah,
That's
but
awesome. How's
so
Gina doing?
random. I don't know. They're all Janelle's people.
Ah.
I think she's a baby. I think they're happy about that. I think she's
Oh.
getting divorced though. Or I don't
Yeah, so
want
is
to.
everybody, man.
Yeah,
Everybody's
I don't
getting
know anything
divorced.
about it, so I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, um, but the Micheries just got married. Lauren Micheries just got married.
Oh, that's
Anthony
awesome.
is a kid. Yeah,
Hell yeah. Ever hear anything about JP at all?
I really haven't, and I'm enjoying it.
Oh, that kid was the bane of our existence for a little while there.
JP was such a bad influence on me for so many years.
Oh yeah.
Like I just I mean like I of course like have like good memories of like breaking the law and stuff, but like
Right.
I don't know. I don't know if he really helped me as a person, honestly.
He helped me realize who I didn't want to be around. Like my brother met up with him randomly at Electric Forest. He saw him there and he was just like on all sorts of drugs out of his mind and everything and it was real messed up. But
It took me a long time to stop um giving him opportunities to fool me. It took me like 3 years before I like realized that it's not about me in any way or any form at all ever.
you
And
realize
then
that like you were Double D, I was Ed and he was Eddie, right?
I don't know about
He
that, but sure.
he was the asshole wannabe ringleader, but really never had anything in control and never had a good plan for anything. But
Wait, you're
I was
Eddie?
just like, yeah, we should probably do that. That sounds like a good idea. We'll go to the roller rink and we'll get so many girls and
Oh my God, the stupid roller rink. Dude, that guy, he got me into so many situations where I like would go into the bathroom and be like, what am I doing here? Like, it's not that I'm not enjoying this. It's like, I literally would rather be doing anything else right now.
I would
Like, I'd
rather be
rather be at the
spilling
library
spinach on
right
your
now.
carpet and playing Gretzky '06.
No, I'd rather be doing homework right now than like hanging out with him. Like, he just puts you in all these situations where it's like you can like really squint and maybe it'll be fun, but like it never is. And like after the 17th time, I was like, what am I doing? Like,
Maybe that's why you became so studious. Maybe he really did
well,
help you.
no, I never ended I was would end up saying yes to him eventually because he's a sociopath. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's so funny like who you live by, like what happens, you know?
I just remember that one time we we had that spliff cigar in the hot tub, and then I ate like 6 double cheeseburgers
I
from
was thinking about
McDonald's,
that.
and
I was thinking about that the other day. I don't know why.
for inhaling
I
half
felt like
cigar,
crap.
half crappy brickweed.
Oh, I didn't feel good at all that night. I just felt like crap. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't know
Well,
what I
because we
did.
were smoking a shitty cigar instead of actual like
We were
cigarette
inhaling the
tobacco with it.
cigar. That was the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. We did that very dumb, but we were novices. We were in high school. It's what it is. Remember when we did
That's,
the bathing suit sprint out of the hot tub to your house and back?
I don't know if I did that one.
You were there. It was you, me, and JP in the hot tub, and we got out and we started sprinting towards your house, touched your house, and turned around and came back.
Three dudes in a hot tub, probably
Yep.
surrounded by snow. What else can you do, right?
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing you should do when you have three dudes alone in the hot tub is go to the roller rink, pick up some chicks.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
that's
And
where
then
they
end
all
up at
are.
Walmart buying
Yeah.
condoms you're never going to use.
Go to a movie theater that's been converted into a roller rink. That's where all the chicks
Yes.
are.
Yep. It is. It is. Everybody knows this. Gosh. Read a book.
Okay,
Oh,
I feel like I could make fun of you for like 20 things that you forced me to do, And I feel like you would defend all of them right now. You'd be like, no, that was awesome. No, that was perfect. No, that was so
Lay
much
them out.
fun.
Lay them out. Let's have it. Let's have it.
Remember when you and Michael, whatever his name, tried to get me into Pokemon? The cards.
Oh, Mike Pascal.
You guys drove me to Meyer and made me spend like $30 to just have enough cards to like play against you guys or whatever.
hmm
I remember that because I remember like buying those and then like they sat on like the wall of my room for like the next 3 years and I was like, why did I
I'm
ever
not
do
going to
this?
defend that at all. That was stupid. That was absolutely awful. But I
See,
will
Pasco got
say
you into Pokemon, right?
he did. Yeah, he did. Because he wanted to go to the Pokemon University in Japan. He wanted to win that tournament, and that was a very real possibility. But those cards that you have, they may be worth something.
They're never worth anything.
To the right buyer, everything's worth something.
You can have them. I don't think I have them anymore, anyways. But
I
I
gave
had
all
really
my
good Pokemon.
you remember the like box of like 30,000 baseball, soccer, football, and cards. My parents held on to them for all these years. I didn't know that, and they were like, "Do you want them?" And I was like, "You know what? No, give them to Jeremy and Ashley because they got Logan and Sawyer. They're big sports fans, and they love, 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 love sports cards. So they've been sifting through them every single day and like picking out ones, and they found some pretty good rookie cards and stuff in there, and like there's some decent stuff. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm not one to hold on to things to hold value for the future except for firearms, but that's about it. There's nothing. I don't own anything else that's like this could be worth something someday. That to me is just trash.
I have like 3 grand worth of old
Beanie
quarters
babies.
that
Oh,
are like actually made with real silver.
that's something to hold on to.
I went through a whole the Earth is ending and we're all gonna go back to the Stone Ages apocalypse kind of scenario back in like 2016 when Trump was winning. Um, so I put a couple grand into like quarters from the 1950s or whatever. I feel stupid about it, but I don't think they're gonna lose value. Like a silver's only gonna
No,
go
they're not
up,
going to lose value.
but
Silver's been going up.
yeah, but it's only like artificially going up. It's like people, it's
Yeah,
not actually tied to like the scarcity of it anymore. But
no, but I mean, you could go anywhere and sell the weight of it.
I don't think I'll lose a ton on it. But it's
No,
like a,
probably
I don't
not.
know, it's just a small thing.
Yeah, I don't have anything like that. I really don't. Trying to think, but no.
I try not to collect things though, because I'll just lose it.
Yeah, I just have the necessities like for hunting, like the different styles of hunting, and that's it. And then everything else that I have is just like there's nothing clutter like that I own. I have weights for lifting. I have my drum set for, you know, just doing whatever the hell. I have my guitar. I have a snowboard, and then I have a pistol, a rifle, an AR, and a crossbow. And
So
other
you
than
still have
that,
your
just your
guitar?
standard household items. What's that?
You still have your guitar?
Not an electric. No, I just have my acoustic.
On a scale of 1 to 10, um, what is your how much regret in your life is it 1 to 10 that you never got better at guitar?
I did get better at guitar. I play every day.
You play guitar really well now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that invalidates all my arguments.
I've been playing every day for probably the past like year and a half.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
What makes you do it?
I love singing and I love playing, so I've been oh, I don't know what I did with it, but I'm making a set list because my buddy, or I'm buddies with the owner of a brewery up there. I'm gonna be playing on Saturday
Yeah,
nights and stuff like that. Yeah.
that's awesome, man.
Remember when we
Okay,
had that idea to like play at coffee shops and get girls?
well, I mean, clearly it worked, but yeah, no, I like one of my biggest life regrets is like never actually playing guitar very well or really trying to. And one of my new goals was going to be like to play for like a minute or two a day or whatever. Like eventually build up to what I'm doing with everything else, you know?
Yeah.
But anyways, I don't want to talk about that. You're actually how's that not come up yet? Like what? Tell me. What's going on? Do you, what
Nothing
is
really.
your
I just
stage name?
I
Is
don't have a
there, are you
stage
wearing
name.
eye makeup?
No, no,
I'm
no,
kidding.
no.
No, it's
But
amazing. Yeah, what do you
brand
play?
new, "Play Crack the Sky" is my best song.
Nice.
Um,
Do you have any qualms of playing them or anything right now?
I'd rather not right now.
My whole friend group, like that liked brand new that I used to go to concert with, they don't do it anymore. They're totally out. And
Yeah.
I don't put it on, but if it comes on Spotify randomly, I just kind of decide. And sometimes I'd let it play, you know?
I listen to brand new and Bayside and all of that stuff mixed with NF and Lorna Shore and everything. Like I listen to everything. I listen to music all day. Like I'm on the Smule app. I don't know if you ever heard of that. It's the karaoke app where you can download songs and stuff and you can sing along to it or join other people and sing with them and stuff. And I record stuff on there like pretty much every day. And yeah, I've been trying to stay musically inclined because I love singing. I love performing. So
Oh, that's amazing, man.
trying to keep my hobbies alive so I don't lose my creativity.
It's one of my biggest regrets. And I think I would actually be a good, I think I would be awful for a while, but I think I would eventually be a good songwriter. I think I can identify hooks and like where things should transition in
Hmm.
songs, but I don't know. Obviously, I'm like a lifetime away from that, but maybe one day.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and it's never too late. I see people that are 50 years old going on America's Got Talent and making it. You know, random
Yeah,
people that don't think they're that good but think they're okay enough to be on the stage, and then all of a sudden people are like, "Wow, you're actually the best I've ever heard." So I'm not expecting that. I just want to go play music in front of people, but it's like it's weird to.
you gotta start somewhere. I mean, like,
Yeah,
where else do you start?
yeah, exactly. But like, it's weird on a one-on-one setting. It's a little
Like what?
off-putting. Like if I were to play right now, like I would feel anxious about it, and I would
Oh
probably
yeah,
fuck up.
you have to play. Do whatever you want. I mean, please play if you want to. But
No, I'm
no,
just saying, like in general though, like I still have always like I'm a social person, but not, and like I still get horrible stage fright, even though I know I can sing and I know I can play. I
yeah,
still get absolutely awful like shakes and everything like that, like stage fright. So
yeah. I mean that. I feel like you have to explain to yourself that that's normal. Like I do too. Everyone does. I mean,
yeah,
you have to work your way out of it more than you're like born without it. You know?
the way that I've learned to deal with it is just to sing through it, and it just adds extra vibrato to my voice, so it actually sounds a little bit better.
Yeah, man.
So
Yeah,
because I get
and then people are
nervous
gonna
about
like
it,
it, and
like,
you're gonna have to fake it in the future.
oh, I can. And but yeah, like I literally like practice singing in the car like every single time I drive anywhere. I have music on and I'm singing along and just trying to. I've really improved my range because my range was down very much so when I was overweight, and having more breath control and being in better shape and quitting smoking and everything like that really helped me start to be able to push more air through a tighter space and be able to hit higher notes. So it's nice to have everything kind of come together. Like the weight loss is also helping me with one of my biggest passions that I never really pursued, which that is one thing I do regret. I regret never finishing my audition for The Voice and everything and like trying to actually see if I could make it in the music industry. So but I love my life right now, and if I could just like on the weekends, play a couple gigs here and there, that would be awesome. That would just be perfect.
You should 1000% do that.
Oh, I
New
will.
goal. If you don't do that, I'm gonna start making
Oh, here
fun
we
of
go.
you.
Brand new play crack the sky, stone sour, bother, finch, what it is to burn, brand new quiet things. Those are my four main songs right now that I can play all the way through and sing all the way through.
Nice. And you're playing whilst you're singing, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
crazy. Yeah.
Yes, sir. But yeah,
That's
I
amazing.
I just started like a little while back. Like I was sitting at my desk at work, at home and everything, and I just always had my guitar next to me. I always had my guitar in the office when I was at work, and I would just plink around on it while I was, you know, running someone through docs, signing and stuff like that. And I would just mute myself and then just play for a little bit. And I
Dude, can
started
I
doing
help
that at
you?
home too.
Can I help you with this somehow?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Can I interview you or I don't know. I mean, depending how far I mean, I have a problem where I like turn people's hobbies into their careers. I'm not like I gotta back up here. Do you want me to help you with this, or do you want it to just be a thing that you are in control of and decide how far to go with without being pushed, you know?
In terms of like a music career?
In terms of just like doing more with the guitar. I don't know if it means career, but
Um, so
like
the
what's your
way that I
goal?
imagine it is just doing what I said, just playing a couple gigs here and there at coffee shops, and maybe someone comes along and says, "Hey, do you want to play this show or blah blah blah, or do you want to come check out or audition for the band?" And maybe I join a band later on, but that's not like my goal. Like my goal is just to be able to, honestly, it's just to be able to go out there and like in my childhood just be able to play some songs and sing and have somebody come up to me and be like, "You have a really great voice," and that's it. That's all I want.
Okay. All right. You don't need help for that then. If you're going for the
No,
next
no.
level, let me know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You can be my manager.
Yeah. No, I that's part of what I'm trying to do with Trevor is and other people too. It's like I feel like I can be helpful to people. I feel like that my strength is that I find a way to be helpful in any
You
way.
find a way to be practical and analytical and show people reality of things and not kind of cloud it with,
Yeah. I think
nonsense.
I think my imposter syndrome's so high that I need to like in pretty much every friend relationship I have, I feel like I add more value to their life than they add to mine, and I just can't let it be the other way, or I like don't feel good enough, you know? And so anytime
That's fair.
someone like what gives me pleasure is like helping others achieve their dreams. And that's kind of like what I'm trying to do or think about in the background is like how do I do that? And I mean for so I really want to be a coach of businesses, but I acknowledge the fact that I probably have to like own my own business for a while to like coach them just to like have experience, but also like whatever, some sort of
Yeah.
thing on a resume. But I don't know. So that's just something I
You're like a
enjoy.
broker for businesses to hook people up that are trying to start a business with the right people to start that business or the right ideas.
Yeah, or just keep people accountable to their goals. I think that's the harder part.
Yeah.
People that can be disciplined don't like then it's an intelligence thing. I feel like most people I think can't keep discipline for years, and that's what it takes to like really be successful, in my opinion. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. That's what I'm in the midst of trying to accomplish right now, is to keep this consistency for a full year, because I never did. I never like lost weight for a full year. I never did anything for a full year, like outside of, necessities of life and having to work and stuff like that. But like my weight loss the last time around, I started it took me like 6 months and I lost 85 pounds. Or no, I was 315 and I got down to 265. So that was, or 345 and I got down to 265. So yeah, it was 80 pounds. It was 80 pounds that I lost in 6 months. And then I started dating Megan and I just kind of let everything go. So there was always something that kind of like gave me a gateway to not have to work hard anymore. Because like, oh well, the whole reason you were getting skinny was so you could meet somebody, and then you met somebody, and now they like you for you, so that's good enough. And let's get bar pies. Like,
she likes me for me.
but like, you have a beautiful voice. But yeah, and then it just started going downhill from there. And then like this time around, it's been since June 28th, and I'm down 115 pounds now. And so it's less time. Obviously, I didn't start out with more weight to lose, so that could be the factor there. But I've already come into what could have detoured me from this by having two outings like 2 weeks apart, to where I kind of break my diet and my routine,
Was the
and
worst.
it it hasn't affected me at all. I
Oh,
haven't
really?
felt I haven't felt like, oh, I should probably start doing this again. I haven't done this. Like, no. I'm still going to the gym every day. I'm still walking around talking to my clients. Like, nothing's changed since I got back. So it made me realize that like I can go out and enjoy things from time to time and monitor myself to not allow it to be more than just that. and not like, well, I ate shitty yesterday and I'm kind of hungover, so I might as well let it spill into today. Like, no, no. When I was hungover, I smashed a bunch of water. I drank a liquid IV. I took my vitamins, and then I made my broccoli, chicken, and sweet potato meal, and then I went for a run.
So what do you think is happening? What do you think the deciding thing that this last 70 days, whatever it is different than any other time you've tried something like this?
Um, I don't know specifically what it is, but what my idea is was the fact that I went and initially got help with antidepressants,
Hmm.
and that allowed my body to build up serotonin that I didn't have from just stopping drinking abruptly. And
Do you think that's something you've been missing your whole life?
I think I needed the reset. Yeah. I think I just needed the reset. I was always afraid of antidepressants, always afraid of medications. And now I'm, 2.5 months off of them.
Oh,
And
you're off of them now. Yeah.
yeah, I'm off of them now. I'm off of them now. I went on them in October, and I stopped taking them in August. I want to say the end of August. Yeah. So, and it's been fantastic. I haven't had any issues, no anxiety attacks, no depression,
Yeah,
no.
man. That's amazing.
So like that gave me a reset, and I think honestly moving out here and living a different lifestyle changed my entire mindset on what I wanted to do and how I wanted to live my life. And I love this lifestyle out here. So I'm not constantly feeling like I'm searching for something else as well. I have
Yeah.
just this to focus on because I'm where I need to be. Now it's time to be who I need to be.
Do you use more or less social media being out there as when you were in Detroit?
I don't have any social media except for Snapchat.
Do you feel like moving out there has given you more permission to not need as much social media, or do you think it's
Hmm.
just totally random and not? Oh, okay.
No,
That's
no,
what
I
I
think
think
moving
is
out here
like,
really helped.
yeah, when you're surrounded by people that are using it all day, that's like they are sharing stuff with you, and then it makes you feel like FOMO'd and like it's like self-fulfilling that if somebody likes something that like in real life that you now have to go check the app, check the whatever, like
Yeah. It got rid of the
um
cafeteria caring people. It got rid
yeah.
of the, hey, it's Facebook says it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Hope you're doing well. How are you? We should catch up sometime, never. Like,
That's pretty
no,
good.
fuck
Yeah.
all that. Like, sorry, but like, it's so
No, no,
stupid. Like,
no. Yeah.
I just
Um,
don't care about it at all. And what it did was narrowed my circle down. And the people that I care about in my life and that care about me are in my life because they want to be and not because they saw a post on Facebook.
but it does it involuntarily too, though, I think too. Like I follow people on Twitter and I've gone through several periods of like I'm not as good as these people. I need to be these people. I need to beat these people. Why am I not? Like all these things. How do they have so many of this? I don't have any of that. Like but these people I followed. It's not something that like Facebook or whatever Twitter told me to
Right.
follow. Like I chose this. I chose these people to be my heroes, and now I'm saying I'm not good enough compared to them. I've kind of made all these choices. Like I've put myself into this corner. So it's more like it feel like for me it was like it gave me the resources to do that,
Hmm.
like without knowing it. It gave me like we're social creatures and we're used to living in 100-person tribes. And when the internet connects us all, so we're in a $7 billion or 7 billion tribe, like of course no one's the best at anything. Like of course that it's like normal, but we all feel crappy because no one's the best at anything. Like we all can't understand that, right? Like
Yeah.
so I don't know. I feel like that's the part. Once I realized that I'm meant to be in a 100-person tribe, and this thing forces me to be uncomfortable because it's not possible,
Yeah.
that's when I like started getting it, and I just really try to keep myself in my own 100-person tribe or whatever, like
Yeah. Exactly.
mentally with everything, because it's just impossible to be good at anything anymore, you know?
Yeah, everybody's incredible, and you see all these videos of all these people that are better than you at everything you do, and it's like, wow, well, this was pointless. I should try something else. Like, no.
The
Like,
best
there's
people in the
hunters
world.
out there that are way better than me, but the people on the mountain trust Aaron and myself to be the predator hunters. If they got coyotes in their yard, they tell us where they're at, and then we go and we
Wow,
set up shop and kill them. Like with like in this area, in
that
your
is a real
small
skill.
circle, you become the best of what you need to be,
Yeah,
and it doesn't have to be the very best, but whatever works for your community. I feel like if you're contributing to your community, then you know you're doing the right thing.
yeah. No, I think community is one of the biggest influencers in my life that I've never really thought about as something I want to control. I always thought it was something that happens, and like, why would I want to like not spend time with this person? Like, they're a good friend of mine, but like, sometimes they're not. It's not actually making you like grow. So I don't know, but it's I feel like I need to take control of my community more. I feel like if I want to grow into the person I want to be, that it's more important than not feeling bad for not
Hmm.
spending time with somebody that I used to, like
Yeah,
it's hard.
I mean,
But
we've done it. We've gone through it several times in our friendship. I go
yeah,
through it
yeah.
with all my friends. Like it just we just pick
Yeah,
up
it's
where we
hard.
left off, and that's that.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
yeah, like funny offshoot of the whole community and getting involved in the community. So Matt, the guy that owns Sugar Run Brewing, it's his wife works there as well, obviously, and they run it together. And she was asking me my story on how I came to be here and everything like that, and all this stuff. And I told her, like, well, honestly, it was video games. I met up with a couple buddies, or I played a video game online. My buddy, my old roommate, got me into online gaming, and do you know this whole story of how I
I know
actually came out here?
you like met a guy or guys that you play video games a lot with, and then he had a place or wanted you to come live with him, and I think to pretty much everyone, everyone thought that was like a crazy idea. But you're a good judge of
Yeah,
character, so you kind of figured it out. But yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's
And
all. That's
he's
all I know.
yeah. I mean, basically, I played PUBG. They were a random foursome, or they were in there was three of them in the squad, and I was the random. I was the outcast. It was Aaron and Kevin and Luke. Luke somehow ended up knowing my roommate just by chance, and they went to
Oh, so he
they
believed
went to
you
college together.
that you're like a real person. Yeah.
Yeah. So because we played and we were like, we should keep playing. So we decided to keep playing together as a squad, and we just kind of hit it off. And I was like, yeah, I game every night. And they're like, oh yeah, we do too. You want to join up with us? And so we did. And then I had John in there with me, my roommate. And when he logged on, and then I joined up with Lukey and Aaron, Lukey was like, Johnny? He's like, Luke, what are you doing here? And he's like, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm playing with Dave, my roommate. He's like, shut up. And then we were all like, small world, blah, blah, blah. Like they went to Thomas Aquinas together. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, it was crazy. It was really crazy. And we just played video games for like 2 years, and that was it. And we were just like, we should all meet up. We should go somewhere and like meet halfway in between and play golf and get hammered or do something. And Aaron was like, well, we should just meet up at my place and have a fire, go out on the side by side, shoot guns, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And that was in the height of COVID. So I went out there and had the time of my life and just saw how beautiful it was out here. And so when I got back into cell phone reception, I called my boss and I was like, hey, I'm either remote working or I'm looking for another job because I'm moving to Pennsylvania. 6 months later, I moved to Pennsylvania, and that was that. And I just fell in love with everything about it. And when I told that story to her, she was like, "That's such a beautiful view and blah blah blah. And you have such a good concept of this area and what's to appreciate about it." And she tells me, "You should run for mayor." And I'm like, "What?" And this is a
Yeah, okay.
very like well spoken, like intelligent woman that I'm talking to. Like her business strategies and stuff with the whole way that they set up their brewery was incredible. And she was like, "You should really, no, I'm dead serious. You should run for mayor." And then somebody else said it like a week later,
I
and I'm
mean,
like,
it depends what your goals are, dude. I mean, I think you could do it. I don't know if it would make you happy though.
I
I
don't
think you
even
have the
know what that
personality for it though.
entails.
You have the personality for it, honestly. If you wanna, you'd have to live a way more boring life.
I
You
can't do
know,
it.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's what you want, but I want you to realize though, this is a real human telling you, knowing you for a really long time, that if you got a little bit more boring, you'd actually be really good at it. You know, I don't know if you would enjoy it, but I think you'd
Hmm.
be good at it. You'd be good at it, and then you'd eventually quit. You'd hate it.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be good at it for like 6 months, and then you'd be like, this isn't worth it. But
Yeah.
I do think it's important to realize it. I do think you'd be really good at it, though. You know,
Thank you. I
I
appreciate
don't know
that.
what else
That's
you
that's a
could use
huge
that for.
compliment.
No, it is. I'm serious. I think you would be actually really good at it, but you'd hate it. So it's hard. Like
Yeah.
like knowing what you want and also being good
I
at it is
can't
so
be in
hard.
spotlight, man. I would that would get canceled in 3 seconds,
I
man.
know. I know. They'd pull up like anything you've posted ever. Yeah, I
Or
mean,
everybody here would love me. Who knows? Everybody would,
well,
that's what
that's a
I'm talking about. Hell yes.
I mean, the thing I've learned is anytime you think you're like wrong or like an outlier, odds are you're like perfectly average. Like if you're having a problem, you're the average problem that happens in this place. Or like if you're having a great
Right.
experience, that means you should invest in that thing immediately. Because if I'm liking it, then I'm the average person. Like everyone's liking this thing.
Yeah.
And the less I put myself as an outlier and more in the middle, like I'll probably be average at anything I do. I might as well be an average $1 million business owner. Like, I might as well like,
Yeah.
like I feel like I'll rise to it, but I don't know. I think you'd be. I think, like I said, I don't think you'd like it. That's the problem. But
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Why would I want to sit in an office and deal with, you know, what are we gonna do about the roads in our city? What should we do? We should have a pig roast and have a like
yeah, no, yeah, go kiss some babies. No, the thing that might happen though, we'll see. But kids could change you. Like kids changed me a lot. Like I didn't care about anything, but now when I think about like leaving the earth or leaving, or like having them copy me all day, that's when I like my brain starts like,
oh,
I
I
should
don't think I'm
really
ever
be
gonna have
working on this.
kids.
Really? I thought you were on the fence.
I don't think so. No, I'm too old, man.
What?
I don't
You
want
have
to
kids when
be
they're 50.
I don't want to be 51 years old when my kid turns 18. If I was gonna have kids, I wanted to have kids 5 years ago.
I don't know, man. I didn't want kids. Literally didn't want any kids until I was like 22. So like things change. You never know.
Yeah, but I'm 33 and I still don't want kids.
No, yeah, whatever. I'll make fun of you in 40 years when you have 6 kids at the age of 69.
No, no, my plan is to get in the best shape of my life by 40 and
Oh, didn't you had a
then
vasectomy,
just
didn't you?
travel.
I forgot about that.
What's that?
You got a vasectomy, right?
I never ended up getting it because she kept canceling on me over and over and over again. Well, she's got to reschedule. She got to reschedule. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, how hard is it to just snip me? I'll cut it off myself. Show me how to do it. Like, and it never happened. And I just got so annoyed with it. I never went back to her. That was when I was back home. When I was, yeah,
That's
when I was living in Detroit.
that's funny.
And I literally, like, I went to the consult. Everything was good to go. We scheduled it. They called me like a month later because they scheduled it like 2 months out. They called me like a month later and be like, she's not going to be in then. So I'm like, how is she not going to be in when we scheduled a surgery? I'm
Did
like, well,
did
she's
you
doing
do you
this
think
and
that
this
they
and
were
this.
messing with you? Like they thought you were
I
a
think that
bad
they were trying to get
candidate?
me to not,
They like thought you were crazy or something for like
yeah.
not being a
She told
dad.
me, why do you not want to have children? And I was like, I have enough mental health issues that I don't want to pass on to somebody. I live a very reckless and selfish lifestyle, and I would not be a good parent. And I don't plan on coexisting with anybody ever again. So that was it. She's like, and you've thought about this for a while? And I'm like, for like 3 years. I've been on the fence, and now I just want to pull the trigger and get it done with.
Yeah, I would be willing to bet they are stringing you along for whatever reason, which is really funny to me because
I think
like
they were. And so I just gave up.
how is that like a good idea from anybody's standpoint? Like
Well,
I
because
guess
the reproduction rate and the birth rate is down insanely. Nobody's having kids.
no. What does that mean? You're like you think it's a conspiracy or something?
Not a conspiracy. I think like they are literally trying to change my
No,
mind.
no. No. You're acting like it's some government agency. Like if my wife was a
No.
doctor for reproductive health, like she would probably do the least worst option in that scenario, which I would be willing to bet is if they told you to your face that they were not going to do it because that you would go on social media and say this doctor sucks and that doctor sucks, whatever. But stringing you along, they at least you just kind of go, these people just suck. Like if they chose that they were not going to do it for their own reasons, they can't. I don't know if they just didn't want to tell you for other reasons, like because it would be a worse experience for you, I
Well, I
guess.
looked this up, and this happens all the time to people like me that are single and that aren't with somebody and don't already have children and stuff. Happens all the time.
Yeah, the doctor like chooses to but doesn't tell you.
Yeah.
Chooses to just to not do you. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
weird. That's weird. That's like the least problematic way of like letting you go, like breaking up with you.
Right.
It's like
Just tell me like, hey, now we can't do that, man. I'm not
no, I'm sure
comfortable
it's weird with
performing that
them
surgery
too.
because
I'm
I
sure
would
it's a
feel
lawsuit
bad if
thing.
you wanted to have kids later on and I was the reason that you didn't. Like if that's what they would have said to me, I would have been like, that's fair. I'll go find somebody that has less morals. No problem.
You don't think
Like,
it's a lawsuit thing? It could be.
no, it's not because it's an elective surgery. You can't just
I
go in there and be like, I want this surgery, give me surgery. A doctor can say no to whoever. It's just like a restaurant.
I understand. I
Like
mean,
you
I
can
agree with
refuse to
you.
serve anybody.
I agree with you. I just it could be a lawsuit waiting to happen. If somebody's
I'm sure
very
somebody that wants to, poke the bear, but I mean, the doctor's not going to care. They have malpractice insurance and all sorts of insurances to cover that, so it's going to be nothing. What are you going
yeah.
to sue for? Pain and suffering because they didn't cut you open?
Mhm.
You're going to sue them because you accidentally got someone pregnant because you were an idiot? Like, you know,
Yeah,
there's not a
that
whole
is
lot of
funny,
legal ground there aside from saying
dude.
I didn't want to do it, I wasn't comfortable with it.
I can't believe your doctor broke up with you. Your doctor started ghosting
She was really
you.
hot too. She was really hot. She was
Nice.
smoke show blonde with the big horn rimmed glasses and everything, just stereotypical hot doctor. And I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe she wanted to go on a date with you.
Yeah, maybe she just looked at my Johnson and was like, "This is yeah, we're not touching this. God made this, and I can't destroy it."
Oh.
Fucking Catholics, Catholic guilt. That's what it
No,
was.
I was making a joke like she wanted to have your children. She was like, "No, I think I really like you actually. I want you to procreate."
Yeah, yeah. When I come out of anesthesia, she's gonna be like, "By the way, I squeezed the last few drops out of you for myself."
Yeah, right.
That just reminded me of that scene from Horrible Bosses.
Yeah, that's close, right?
Hmm.
I was thinking that's got to be like there's gonna be an SNL skit somewhere in there where you're like,
On a very long honeymoon that you're gonna pay for, you crazy bitch whore. Oh, I love it. But yeah, I mean, I don't have like there's days where I look at like I see, obviously kids are a great joy and they provide all this, but I see all of the sacrifices that need to be made and that doesn't fit my life.
no, there's nothing I could say that'll change your mind, so I'm not trying to. I'll just tell
No,
you
I know. I'm just
what I
like,
feel. No, no, I'm really not trying to because I every time I had this conversation with somebody when I didn't have kids yet,
mhm,
it's like it's like we're speaking different languages. Like they're talking about like love and shit, and I'm just like, yeah, I know what love is.
right.
Um, but I don't know. That's the thing that's just been so nice about kids is like I never have life purpose discussions anymore with myself internally. Like I agree with all the sacrifices and everything. There's a lot of things that suck, but I just having not having that in my life anymore is such a difference. It's such a different
Hmm.
life that I have.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
only thing that's
absolutely.
like explainable.
I mean, who knows? It could give me the greatest drive and motivation to be extremely successful, like because I have another life to worry about. But for right now, Zoopy provides that for me.
Yeah.
Right, buddy? That's a good boy. Oh, you stink, bud. You need a bath. Oh, gotta let him out.
Like my kid's been waking up at 10 o'clock every night
For real?
and just
How come?
crying. Like I don't get it. It does every night, 10 o'clock. It's all mad.
Hmm. Yeah, Aaron's 6-year-old has been waking up with night terrors like at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, like just horrible.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I had them real bad when I was a kid too, and
Really?
oh, I was a nightmare for my parents. Holy, I would be like asking my mom random math questions and then swinging on her if she didn't get it right, and like just
That's
crazy stuff. Yeah, when I was a little kid, I would wake up and I would have panic attacks that I didn't realize were panic attacks until I was an adult and thought back on it. But like, it's the exact same feeling,
1
and I
second.
would just mhm. Go potty, Zoop. Zoopy, go potty. Hey, if you're good, I'm good, buddy. Ah, you learn not to run up those when they're slippery, huh? Big dummy. What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy?
Sorry. What were you saying?
Don't remember. Don't remember.
You were talking about your night terrors.
Mm,
But you were doing
yeah.
arithmetic, the devil's arithmetic, I think
Yeah,
you're saying.
exactly. I would have these just crazy night terrors about these like monsters coming and eating my family, and I would wake up having a panic attack, feeling like I left my family in those dreams, and I had this guilt that I let them die, like, and it was just forever. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. But yeah, I was a nightmare for like 2, 3 years for my parents. They tried to put me on all sorts of medications and stuff like that to like help, and it just never did. So, and Aaron's going through it right now, which sucks. I feel for him because that's no fun. But yeah, I was gonna say something I completely forgot.
I want to talk more about this future band that I'm in.
Whatever you want, man. I'm in. I've gotten pretty good at playing drums too. I play drums pretty much every day or every other day. So
That's cool.
hmm
Yeah.
that
Did I ever
drum set
tell
was
you
one of the greatest investments ever.
drums?
hmm So much
Hmm.
fun, dude.
I was always too scared because it was so loud. I didn't want to make any noises. Like I think I was traumatized as a child from my mom, like that, like don't make any noises. So
hmm
I never like thought drums were fun. I thought they were scary to play, because everyone hears me. At least with my guitar, I can like make it quiet and like so no one can hear
Oh
me.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I keep these on when I'm playing, and I have music playing through my phone. I put the noise canceling on, and then I just play along with whatever I'm listening to.
Yeah.
It's like a workout set list. But
Yeah.
when I put it on my watch, I have to put it in as dancing because there's no there's no drums, and I'm like, this is kind of dancing, you know. I'm moving my feet, and what, bud? What? He just comes up to me. He does this all the time. If I have my hand down on the desk, he tries to lift it up.
Yeah. Wants attention.
What's up? What's up, bud? You just trying to fight? That's what he always does. He just wants to fight. What? What? What?
No, I don't know if I ever told you this. I when I was like probably only like 8 or 9, I like wrote a bunch of songs. Like I like that was like one of my like life goals was to like write songs and be a musician and stuff. And I like still have
Mm-hmm.
them. I've
You
like
still
kept
have
all
them?
these like yeah, I've like picked up the guitar and like wrote lyrics and stuff probably like 5 different times in my life for like
Didn't you have a
3 or 4.
composition notebook with full of
Yeah,
songs? Yeah, I
yeah,
remember.
I've had it since I was a kid though. I've had it since I was like 8. It's crazy.
That
Of
is
like all
crazy.
these like different songs and things I wrote over the years, and um I've just never actually committed to it to actually like make them in anything, which is funny, but I kind of feel like that's possible now, if I can like just stick to something every day for a while. Maybe after like 10 years I'll like be able to do something with it, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's like weird to think that I've had that this whole time though. I keep going back to that. That's why it's one of my life regrets is like that I never took it more seriously, you know? Um, and I do think it'll be good for my kids to like have a parent in the house that like plays an instrument and like that whole thing too.
Yeah.
So
I used to record myself on a VHS tape on a boombox singing and making up like metal songs and stuff when I
I
was a
mean, you had
kid.
a decent musician career or band career. I would argue like, obviously probably didn't go where you wanted to go, but like, I think you actually
No,
really
we
tried a little bit more than most people.
Seven Infinity was the closest we ever got to getting signed. We were so close. And
Really?
yeah, we got played on Free Beer and Hot Wings twice.
Great.
Yeah, it was awesome, but my our lead singer wanted to introduce dubstep into our sound and it did not fit, and everything just kind of fell apart from there, and I was like, all right guys, I'm joining the army.
Yeah.
So
Isn't that
just kind
funny?
of fell
Like
apart.
that's so happenstance, right? Like your life would be so different if like one executive said yes or no to you.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that funny? I think about
I
that
could
kind
be
of
the
shit all
next
the
Rodney
time.
Radke right now.
Yeah, I think about all that stuff like all the time that like my life is just so like such small things, yeses or nos by random people that never actually met me,
Mm-hmm.
probably, like dictate like even where I'm like I wouldn't have met my wife if certain people didn't say yes or no to me along the way and force us to like be near each other at the time when we both like were on a dating app. Like I don't believe in soulmates. Like I'm guaranteed I'd be married to somebody else, and I don't know if I'd be happier. I don't know. Like it's a different like it's a
Right.
multiverse kind of thing. Like you know? But it's like, I don't know. It's just that kind of stuff blows my mind. Like I think about this all the time. Like my grandpa fought in like World War I, and he could have easily gotten shot down. Like
And
like
nothing would have existed.
what are the odds that they like shot down the other dude? Like he was on one plane because some random dude said you're on plane one, and some other dude's on plane two, and like
Yeah.
plane two got shot down, and I don't exist. Like
Yeah,
it's
my
just
grandpa was in the war in the sewers, like in Poland, like running ammo for guerrilla
yeah,
warfare. Like he shot one of his own buddies down there
yeah,
accidentally coming around a corner. It could have been him getting shot, and that's it. It was just a split second of who shot first, and that's it.
that's crazy. No, like
It's
that's the kind
nuts.
of stuff. Like I read somewhere like we're like a 1 in 3 trillion chance of existing, like us the way we are, like with our genetics and everything.
Hmm.
But that doesn't even include all the nurture stuff, but just literally the math of our genetics.
Yeah.
But the happenstance or the possibilities or whatever, the random chance of the world is so different though too. It's like a multiplier, of like I don't know.
I was thinking about something similar in terms because I was talking to a coworker of mine, and she had just got off like one of the worst plane experiences of her life. Like there was turbulence like crazy and everything.
Mm.
And there is a 1 and I believe it's 4.7 million chance that you die in a plane crash.
I was gonna guess. I thought it was like 6 million, but yeah, it's one of the safest modes of transportation on Earth, actually. Do you know that?
But
Right.
hear me out on these statistics. On average, every day around the globe, 100,000 flights take off.
Okay.
So that means that every 47 days somebody dies in a plane crash.
It's probably true actually, but you're taking it the wrong way. You need to think of it more from a probability of success versus crashing
Hmm.
in a one person or person plane, I'm sure your odds of dying in it are 1,000 times more than in a
Hmm.
commercial
Yeah, it doesn't
plane.
take into.
So, like, I think you should take that into account if you're ever getting into a private jet or smaller. But otherwise, the numbers are in your favor. Don't worry about it. You know, that's kind of how I would
Yeah.
think about it. It's like if you're driving a Bugatti every day versus a Ford Focus. Like, of course, you're more likely to die in a
It's
Bugatti,
always
but
a Ford
the
Focus. It's always a Ford Focus is the bottom grade in the
I
example.
it's because we both had one for like
We
10
did.
years. Like I had a Focus from 2010 to 2000 whatever 13, and I had another one from 2015 to 2019. So,
Yep. But yeah, yeah, it's crazy to think about the statistics of what we do on a day. Like I mean, I have a higher risk of dying just going out sitting in the woods and getting shot by somebody from a distance
oh yeah.
accidentally, like than I do in a plane crash. But I just hate planes. Like
Really?
every time there's a turbulent, I'm like, if I get trapped in this thing and we're fucking going down, like that's awful. That's just horrible the whole way. Like what a terrible experience.
So, I think we talked about this. So you make decisions based off pain, right? Not pleasure,
Hmm.
right? So, we're both pain people, and I think I'm really good at it. I'm really good at identifying the worst painful point of this. And I'm sure you do too, right? So we've picked different points in the process of getting on and off a plane that is painful or not. And mine makes me think the plane is a good solution. Like that has my reason is that the plane is less painful than not the plane. And you think the pain is more painful than not the plane. So I really want to understand why I want to win this one is my point because I feel like we have opposite opposing views of the worst part of the plane ride,
Hmm.
and we both agree that it sucks and it's the worst, because we're not pleasure people. So I really want you to beat the crap out of me with why you're right that the plane sucks because I think the plane's awesome as solving my problem of pain.
Because I've been in an AC-130 that had to drop 200 feet elevation in a split second, and it was not fun.
Okay, so trauma.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't have that trauma. Well, that was
If you're in a
uneventful.
sardine can and you gotta go from here to here really fast, everybody's throwing up. Everybody. It was awful. It was
And
the worst
why
thing
was
ever.
that happening?
Because there was apparently like something that they caught on the radar that was like it was just weather. It was just like a severe section of turbulence that came up out of nowhere and they had to drop. And it was awful. Obviously, we're all strapped in. Nobody's walking around in an AC-130. You're strapped in the whole time until you land. Like
What do you guys where are you flying from and to?
to Selfridge Air Base. We were
Okay.
part of the. It was part of our AT training.
Mm.
So we were doing stuff for lane training, and then we would set up an LZ. Then we would go from the LZ to X, whatever spot we had to do. Like we were shot. It was like lane training. It's really long to explain, but basically we're in a convoy. We have on what's called miles gear. It's like laser tag, but it's an adapter that goes on your rifle and it shoots a laser out. And you have sensors on your chest and on your head, and you have a little pack on your side. And every time you fire a blank, that laser on the tip of your rifle sends that laser out. Whoever it's shooting at will get hit, and it'll tell if it's fatal or if they're still able to continue mission. And so they had like basically an EMP bomb that went off that was to signify a grenade or a roadside bomb. And so my truck got hit. We were injured. So then the medics escorted us to the landing zone for the chopper. We went up in a Blackhawk, and then we went to the uh, base, basically, where they would provide treatment until we get transported. And then they're like, all right, you guys are going to get on the AC-130. You're going to get strapped in and everything like that. We're going to take this to Selfridge Air Base, and then they're going to come back. So we went from the Battle Creek Air Base to Selfridge, and when we were on our way to Selfridge, when we were over the water circling for landing, we had to drop really fast because there was a bunch of turbulence or something like that. And we went down, I swear it was like less than a second. We went down 200 feet. Like it was like a nosedive, like it felt like. I'm sure from the outside standing in, it probably didn't look that serious. And
Yeah.
it was routine for the guys flying, obviously, but nobody inside expected that, and there's no warning. It's just, all right, we're chilling, shooting the shit, and whoa, like.
I bet they did it on purpose. I bet they like doing it to cadets like that. I bet it's a joke to them.
Could be,
Why else would
could
they
very
do
well
it?
be.
Right? You know, like if they, why else would they not alert you at all? You know, like what, well, who does that benefit? You know, because if you're all puking in the back seat, then they have to clean all that stuff up and everything. Like they would have waited one
I've never
second.
seen so much vomit in my life.
That's what I'm saying. They did it on purpose. That was hazing.
Could be, could very well be, but still horrifying.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then I've seen enough videos of idiots opening up the emergency door in mid-flight, and people getting sucked out of the plane and stuff like that. Like all that stuff just runs through my head.
Well,
Like,
yeah. So I've never been through all that. I've never been through all the military stuff. I haven't really hit a lot of turbulence ever. But like on the surface, the plane, like I don't like that I don't have control over it. You know, that's like in the car, you feel like you're in control, despite the fact that you're more likely, like you're like probably 10 or 20 times more likely to be in an accident in a car,
mm-hmm.
maybe 100 times, maybe 1,000 times actually. But um, I like the control of the car, and that's why people like driving cars. They don't want self-driving cars. But for the amount of time you save, like it's just so more
Oh yeah.
like, and you don't have to do anything. Like so, like I had to decide between for Romel's bachelor party, driving to Gatlinburg, which is like 7.5 hours, or flying there. And the flight was gonna take 3 hours to get there. I'd have to do an hour before, hour and a half, whatever, to get on the plane. We were gonna land in Knoxville. I'd have to drive another hour. So it was like 6 hours, I think, by the time I did it all. So it was like I can fly for 6 hours or I can drive for 7.5. So for $300, 150 each way, I'm paying myself for an hour and an hour, whatever,
Yeah.
$100 an hour. Like, so I did that one and it was worth it because like it was fine. But like most times the equation does not work that way. It's like for $200, I'd rather have 12 hours more of vacation. Like I'd rather like, you know, I, so
Yeah,
without the trauma
absolutely.
though, I just like I used to hate planes because I wanted the control, but then like the math actually makes sense in my opinion. If you like actually respect your dollars per hour of like your time, I feel like it's way worth it.
It's funny that we're talking about this because I literally had a conversation with Ashley today about my goal for conquering this fear is once the market flips, I'm going to basically put my nose to the grindstone and just work and work and work, write as many loans as possible, save as much money as possible, continue to live how I am now. And I want to take flying lessons and I want to learn how to fly a prop plane
So you can die.
so I can just take off and fly myself to Michigan and land anywhere and visit people faster than driving 7 hours there and back and having to pay the tolls and everything.
Well, if you're heading in that direction, I mean, and no offense, but you might as well just become a multimillionaire and just get the private jet. Man, isn't that what normal people do? Is they go, I need to be a billionaire to get what
You
I
can buy a
want.
prop plane for like 60 grand.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, my car is not much cheaper than that, Like,
Yeah, I never thought about that. I feel like I wouldn't want to fly. I feel like that'd be too scary.
well, there's a guy out here that has a crop dusting plane, and he's gonna teach me eventually. So he's
Well,
a certified instructor, so it's
yeah.
I
Well,
definitely
the
want to
thing
do
with
it.
the becoming a pilot, the hardest part I've heard is getting the hours. Like it's kind of like driver's ed. You need like 1,000 hours or whatever to like get your actual license. And
Hmm.
there's very few places on earth that will give someone without a license access to learn how to do it. Like most times you have to be a skydive instructor for like 3 years or something stupid to get enough
Hmm.
hours because they only do skydiving like 2 hours a day or whatever. Like um, but I heard that's like the hardest part actually. The training is easy, but getting the hours
Yeah,
is hard. It's so funny, right? Like why would that
I
stop
mean,
you?
you do it for I would just do it every chance I got. If I pay for the fuel, I can fly. I could fly whenever. That's what he told me. He said you can fly whenever you want as long as you pay for the fuel, and I don't need the plane. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
all right. So he's like, obviously, I'm going to teach you and everything and make sure that I'm comfortable with you. But he's like, I see no issue with that. So I have the setup for it. Me and my buddy talked about it like a year and a half ago with this guy because it's his cousin, I want to say, or his uncle. I can't remember, but yeah, this kid Aaron just has like the networking for everything on this mountain. So it's like just
Yeah.
happened to play in perfectly. Like his father-in-law owns half the mountain and owns a dairy farm that supplies like a lot of dairy for Land O'Lakes butter, and his boss, who he also handles all of his finances and his tech stuff at his house along with his business, is also my landlord. So like I'm in with everybody here that has the means to do all of this, no problem.
Hmm.
So it's really,
Yeah.
this is like a really beneficial place. Like it turned out to be way more than I expected it to be.
What does a prop plane hold? It's like a single person plane?
There's several different kinds. I mean, you can have a 10-person prop plane,
Hmm.
but I'm just probably going to do like a 2 or 3 seater if I buy one.
Yeah, man. That'd be awesome. Have your own plane.
Yeah, my buddy Dan, he flew for the Air Force. He flew. I think he's still in the Air Force. I don't know if he retired or not yet, but he was one of my brother's buddies that he went to high school with at De La Salle, and he uh, he flies Southwest, but he has his own prop plane, and he lives in Michigan, and he just flies to Maine to pick up lobster for the next day. Like he just does whatever he wants.
Did I mean, I don't even know how much fuel would cost for that. Like I feel like it would cost like $300 to fly to Maine, wouldn't it? Like
It's not like jet fuel or anything like that. It's not expensive. It's really not. It's not that bad at
really?
all. Yeah.
Okay.
It's cheaper than
Hmm.
taking a boat out.
Really?
Yeah.
That seems weird.
Mhm. It is. I thought the same exact thing. I thought like I'm gonna have to spend $1,000 every time I want to fly. I can't afford this. Nah, not at all.
I'm gonna ask GPT that right now.
Do it.
How much does a prop plane cost to fuel to fly, you know, a quarter of the country of the US?
I don't know if that's specific enough because there's several different types of prop planes and everything like that. I mean,
Yeah, it's making some assumptions. It thinks it would cost a $1,200 to fly across the country, or to fly a quarter of the country,
just in fuel.
just in fuel.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. No, I really have no, like I would have guessed it was more than like $300. Like $300 seems like that's not that much money, you know.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay. Well, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, with where gas prices have gone, it must be around that now. Before, it obviously wasn't like that. So, yeah, now fuel for planes like $7 a gallon. It says generally speaking, most single-engine piston aircrafts have an average of fuel burn rate of around 10 to 12 gallons per hour. This means that if you fly at an average of 120 knots or 138 miles per hour, you'd expect to get about 11 miles per gallon in fuel efficiency.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I feel like flying a coach plane in the back is like such a great deal. Like $200 gets me wherever I want to go. Like what else is there on in like safe, really safe too? Like what else
Mm-hmm.
is there on Earth? Like how what a cool thing. Like my grandfather couldn't fly anywhere until he was like 70. You know, like what a cool thing that the
Right.
Earth has that like the average person can probably afford generally. I know like different people make different amounts of money, but like I don't know. I can like go to different parts of the world that never I could ever go to, like previous generations couldn't go to.
Mm-hmm. See, now this I'm seeing. $39-gallon tank. Yeah, see, it really depends on the plane because I'm seeing one here that it costs $150 to fuel up and you can get easily 350 miles.
Yeah, so that's I mean, I was going like 1,000 miles to go to Maine. I think it's probably, you know.
I don't think by plane. By driving maybe. But by plane just going direct, I wonder.
How many miles ETW to Maine in the air? 700 miles DTW to Portland, Maine in the air.
Okay. So yeah, so it costs like $400 in fuel.
Yeah, minimum.
Minimum, yeah.
Yeah.
That's if everything's going right and, because you have to think of like flying one way, you're going to burn a lot less fuel than flying the opposite way.
Oh, that's $400 each way,
Is it?
isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Hold on,
Sounds like
hold
you
on.
could fly first class for that much money, just saying, no offense. I
So,
really like this discussion. And I said I really want to win it, but I also really want to lose because I want you to prove to me I should own a plane. That's what I really want you to prove to me, which is what I want. I'm gonna have that to be my life goal now, but it's not more efficient, so I don't want it. But tell me if it is, and I'll want it.
so let's see, 700 miles. Trying to think of how to do this math properly here without screwing it up. I can't comprehend how this math is supposed to work right now. So 700 miles to get there, so it's 1,400 miles total.
Yeah, and then it's like you said, it's like 10 miles a gallon or whatever.
Yeah,
And
so if it's 700 miles
it's
and
like $7 a
39
gallon.
gallon tank, which costs $150 to fill up, according to this site. Which gets you 426 miles divided by 426, or 429 miles rather, per tank. So we'll just say 1,400 divided by 429 equals 3.26 fill-ups. So times 150. Yeah, $489 there and back.
1,400 miles. 10 miles to the gallon. Is that right?
I did a 39-gallon tank. So
Who
39
cares?
times 11. It's 11 miles per gallon.
11 miles per gallon. So 1,400 divided by 11 is 127 gallons, right? We agree?
Right.
Okay.
So divide that by
Times how many
39.
No. Who cares? Times how many dollars per gallon? 7, 8.
It's at $150 to fill up 39 gallons.
Okay, $150 divided by 39. They're paying $3.8 a gallon. No, GPT is saying it's $6 or $7 a gallon for jet fuel.
I think it depends on where you get it and what type of fuel, like, because there's multiple different types. There's tons of them, so I don't know
All right,
what's.
let's put the difference. Let's go with $5.
Even so, it's cheaper to do the actual plane flight, the prop plane.
$127 times $5. I'm saying 635 all in, plus
Mm-hmm.
possible wear and tear on this thing, possible maintenance, possible parking fees for parking at airports and crap, possible licensing, and my time to learn how to become a pilot. I think I'm going first class instead for the same amount of money.
Convenience. Leave whenever you want.
I disagree. I bet you have to leave. I bet I could buy a plane ticket for 3 hours from now faster than I could schedule my plane and flight crew and government to approve my flight plan from here to Maine, right, in 3 hours.
It's really easy. It's super easy.
You
You
think
just
you
call in and
think
say, I'd like to take off today. Do you have any availability for a takeoff? Here's my flight plan. Here's my destination. What route can I take? And they calculate that shit in like 30 minutes.
okay.
If you have a place to put a plane and you have a radio, you're set.
All right. 30 minutes. I'll think about it. Seems like a lot of pressure to fly a plane rather
I
than
mean,
just sit in one.
there's not much that goes into it once you're there. Like I've I've seen everything that he does. He's recorded everything that he does when he takes off, and it's super easy.
Yeah.
He just calls in and says, "So and so, this is so and so, requesting clearance for takeoff," and blah blah blah. And they ask him his destination. They ask him where he's flying out from, and then he gives them coordinates, and then they plan a route for him, and they give him a speed to hold, and they give him an altitude to hold, and then they ask you to check in every so often and tell them your speed, tell them what altitude you're holding, and when you plan on landing and everything like that. Like they plan all that for you.
Yeah. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, I mean, obviously there's ups and downs to both sides of it, but I just, you don't have to go through TSA. You don't have to go through fucking getting your bags checked and all of that shit. You don't have to deal with a bunch of people in the airport. You don't have to deal with anybody on the plane. Like, it's just you, yourself, and I. I can fucking smoke in the plane if I want. I can throw a chew in. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
that's
have to
true.
worry about what liquids I have with me, and
That is nice. Yeah.
don't have to worry about possibly losing a bag.
Now
So
people always say they want to buy their own private plane, but actually, like, it makes more sense just to rent one whenever you need it. So I think it's
yeah.
only like 20 or 30 grand a flight, but like actually buying the actual plane is like $21 million and the flight crew and everything. But
Are you talking about like an actual like private jet?
yeah, you can rent a private jet for like 20 grand, give or take, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you can have the royal treatment. They do that for like the top producers in the company when they fly them out to wherever
Oh,
they give them the private jet treatment.
that's cool.
I'll never be there, but that's because I don't want to be.
Yeah.
Because those people end up getting involved in the company later on far more than they want to be. I just want to do my time and retire. But yeah, when this market drops, like that's what I'm grinding for, is to be able to set myself up to take flight lessons, and then eventually just be like, Aaron, we're going out to Montana for a hunting trip. I'm flying us out there. Like, we're gonna stop in Wisconsin and refuel, and then you know land near the Rockies and go hunt wherever we want.
What if I already asked you this? Like, what would you do if you actually won the lottery? Like, it's hard because like you can't really picture like what your actual life would be like. Like, what do you think you would win? What do you think you would do like 3 years after you win the lottery? like assuming you don't blow all the money, like assuming like you've already had the money for 3 years, so you already bought and did all the crap that you would like want to do, and now it's like just a Wednesday and you have $100 million in the bank, like what would you actually do every day, you think? Like what would a goal of yours be? Like what do you think? Like, does that really cross your mind?
Same thing I would do every day.
Yeah.
I'd be still
Try not to
doing
blow up
this.
the world.
I'd be going on more hunting trips. I would be traveling more, um,
Yeah, travel. Yeah.
visiting every place around the world that I really want to, going on hunting expeditions that I want to around the world. That's pretty much it. Just traveling, and obviously I would have already taken care of my family and friends and stuff like that. Like I know that that's what I would do
Yeah,
right away.
yeah. It's we could talk about that all night. Yeah, but I don't know what I would do because I can't like leave my kids. I don't know what to do all day.
The same thing. You change nothing and you just let it build interest for you. And when you have
Well,
something worth investing in or you have a want, you are set. You.
yeah.
But
I think I would
here's
probably
the thing.
yeah.
I probably wouldn't tell anybody about it for quite some time.
Well, that'd be my goal too, is like in like Japan, they all wear like, masks when they pick up their lotto winnings. And like certain states they require you. It's pretty stupid. Other states
Hmm.
don't require you to like say who you are. Because it is like it's you're statistically more likely to be bankrupt and
Hmm.
unhappy after winning the lottery than not winning the lottery, which is ironic, right?
Well, because people don't know what to do with the money and they don't know how the taxes work on it.
Oh, I just think they're idiots. They just think that they're God and they can do whatever they want, and it quickly ends. So,
Yeah.
but I think there's something to be said about like if you didn't earn it, something weird in your brain happens where you don't feel like you deserve it and you start
Hmm.
throwing it away. And yeah, but like I can't imagine I will be dead before a lottery winner actually like owns something of purpose. Like because you could easily buy it like probably a minor league sports team or something. You could probably do something actually pretty cool. You know, like
Yeah.
the Ryan Reynolds bought the stupid Wrexham. And there was like $3 million. Like you could do that if you
Yeah.
win $120 million. Like you can do a lot of cool stuff, but no one will ever do that because they want to buy their crazy mansion and then they want to not know how to pay the utilities on it, and then then they want to
See,
go
I don't want
bankrupt.
anything like that.
Yeah,
I want what I have right here. Like this. If I didn't have this, this is what I would get if I won the lottery. And honestly, I would probably donate most of the winnings and have a tax write-off for it.
yeah, yeah,
I'd probably donate a sizable amount to like children's hospital and stuff like that. Have a wing named after me or something. Like I would do a bunch of like really great things with it. I don't think I would live my life lavishly because of it. I think I would just continue to do what I do. Get, obviously get things that I need and take care of family and friends and stuff like that. But as far as like after all that, I would probably try and donate most of it so I wouldn't even have to manage it anymore.
yeah, yeah,
I would take enough to set myself up for life, and then the rest of it I would just charities that I trust that I know.
yeah.
But I can tell you one thing, I would not do what some people would do and donate to a political party. I would not do that. I would absolutely, I know my father would immediately be like, all right, 50% to the church because God made this happen, and the other 40% to the Trump campaign.
Really?
Yeah.
Where does his like? Have you ever like actually got into it with him? Like, not like you're fighting with him, but like, like where does his like deep loyalty comes from? Like was he?
Abortion,
Yeah, it was some traumatic
Catholic,
thing.
Catholic and abortion.
Yeah,
That's how they've always voted.
yeah, but they truly believe that heaven exists. Like they
Hmm.
truly believe like that their religion is saving them.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just feel like it's hard to still believe, like that deeply right now as a humanity. But
Yeah. I mean, the church is falling apart right now.
yeah,
I
and
don't
they're
know
one
if
of
you
the
know what's
few
going
people that
on.
didn't like lose any interest over it. They were like they're still all in.
But like I don't know if you've actually like heard about things that are happening in the church right now. My dad sends me stuff all the time, and I actually watch it now just because it's interesting. But like the whole archdiocese is in everywhere is in shambles. Like every place you go, there's some sort of crazy scandal happening now. And there was a bishop that was like in charge of the spiritual development and growth of a convent of nuns, and he was sexually harassing them and forcing himself on them in the name of God and all these things to teach them lessons and this and this. And they came forth, and he was removed from the church and excommunicated. And then all of a sudden he appealed and they flipped it. And now he's in charge of another parish as a spiritual guide. And they just didn't look any further into it.
And that's the kind of thing of like he's had a whole lifetime of these kind of situations, right?
But he
Like
still believes that the Bible and the church and the Holy Spirit are infallible. And
that's my point. Is like like of every I feel like I'll say this. I feel like normal people hear that stuff and they start like 2 + 2 = 4. Like these aren't holy people, you know? But I don't know. I don't get it. Like I'm holier than most priests, it seems like, and I don't do anything. I just don't hurt people. Like it seems like
right,
it's not
right.
that complicated. Like stop hurting people. Like
But
but
he's claimed like it's such a roundabout argument that drives me insane to even try and think of how you could just justify that in your head, because his justification for anything, and mind you, I'm trying to find my way back to Christianity in a sense, just to have some sort of spiritual development of some kind, because I don't know what's out there. I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
claim
no,
to
it's all
know. And
good.
if there
Yeah.
is something out there and they happen to be right, I'm thinking that this can't hurt me as long as I'm not doing all the hateful things that the uh, fundamentalists, believe in, like complete anti-homosexuality of any kind, anti this, anti that. And like I'm not obviously following those routes, but just the moral standard of it in terms of being a good person. But like his explanation for anything that can't be explained is we're not supposed to understand it. That's how the Holy Spirit works.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I
then,
mean that's everyone's argument, right?
right,
Is
something that you can't prove here, it's because of this. And I understand that in his head it makes him live a better life, and I wish I was that devout about something, but I'm not, because I feel like it's almost blinding to a point. Like you're just so fundamentally stuck in this, like everything else is wrong no matter what. Like i I would love to truly believe in my head that I knew the absolute truth and that what I was doing every day was getting me to paradise, and that's what they truly believe. So if that's what they believe, to live a
yeah.
better life. But like I also feel like it's hindered them from experiences, because my dad would go on the websites and search Catholic Bishop Conference and reviews of movies where a bunch of Catholic bishops watch a Hollywood movie and then review it and say if it's morally offensive and if it's distasteful and attacks the church and blah blah blah. Like they said Tuck Everlasting had graphic sexual content and was rated O for morally offensive
That's my point
because
though,
it
is like
defied God. Because
what does he think? Does he think that 99% of people aren't getting into heaven and he needs to be in the 1% to get in there?
I
Like,
think
because
so.
that's he thinks everyone is going alone. He's the only one going, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Because he's comparing himself to nobody. Like he's comparing himself to perfect, not
Yeah.
to anything else.
Because we are supposed to try and strive for Jesus, living in Jesus's image and God's image at all times.
Okay, so this is my question, I guess, is for most of my life, I would say up till about 6 months ago, give or take, I've I've lived a reality that um there is no point to trying your hardest at anything pretty much. Like that like I've never used 100% of my brain. It's always been like, and I feel like most people live this way, is my point, is that most people kind of go through life like not really ever trying their hardest at anything because nothing ever feels important enough. Okay. And to the point where
Hmm.
they would like change their diet or actually like read books about the thing or like, like people fail, but they fail because they don't care more than they fail because they're not smart enough or not like, so my point is like, I think I'm really trying to with startups, but um Your dad actually is 100% in. Like he's literally actively changing his routines and like what music he listens to, like real stuff that would actually decide how much fun you're having or how good of a life, a quality
Hmm.
of life you're having. He's like almost like an Amish person. He's like purposely choosing a lesser quality of life for religious purposes, which means he absolutely like eats, sleeps, and dreams this stuff. Do you
Hmm.
know what I mean? And like, I've never thought about religion as that kind of thing either, because I thought of that as like a career thing. Like some people are all in on their career, and most people are not. And the all in people eventually get promoted, because like they kind of like rise to the top slowly. Like I
Hmm.
never thought of religion being in, like I know the priests are thinking of it because they're career people, but I've never really met people that eat, sleep, and breathe the church. There's a lot of fakers out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fakers like we go to church every week, or there's a lot
Yep.
of fakers that like talk about praying all the time, but they don't actually believe anything with their actions.
Yeah. I know
But your
exactly
dad
what type
does
of people you're
both.
talking about.
Your dad's all in at time and belief, which is interesting to me. Like I've never really thought of him as being somebody that's like overwhelmingly convinced and like disciplined, like, about
Yeah.
that thing.
Yeah. I've tried to fathom it for years and I can't. Like, I can't imagine waking up every day and not having a care in the world about anything you do because God's gonna provide.
Well, not even that though. Like, can you imagine being so invested in the new band you're starting with me that you literally like are changing your diet and your how you're spending your money, what music you're listening to, quitting your job,
Hmm.
like all in the name of future band prospects with Brian, like because you're so all in on that idea that you're literally changing other aspects of your life. Like I feel like it's not just a religion thing. It's like he's all in on that part of his life to the point where it's
Yeah.
detrimental to other parts of his life, like to his like hobbies and pleasure and stuff. Like he's doing that instead,
Oh,
you
he
know?
missed out on a much stronger relationship with all of his children because of it.
Right. Yeah, he chose like God over you. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I didn't ever made that connection. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Like
He
it's
chose himself. That's weird.
yeah. You could argue that it was selfish almost, but you will never convince him.
Well, I'm sure I could make an argument that like he might say he wouldn't say this, but he might have thought this, right? Let's just play the like what if game. He could argue maybe that he knew you were going to copy him, and so the best way to be copied is to walk the walk of what I want my kids to do and be like, you know.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, I think it didn't work, but also you can't argue who's ever a bad influence on you. You know what I mean? It's just like he just wasn't the right influence, but I feel like he wasn't a bad influence. What would you say to that?
I feel like he unknowingly preached a lot of hate.
Well, that's true. You're right. Though the church does, right? That's the stupid
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, absolutely. And nobody in the church thinks that.
No, if you just say what the church like, they don't come out and say it. That's the hard part. They only like don't squash people that make it extreme. They just kind of like let it be with extreme
Yeah.
people. They don't say anything. They're just like whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, they just kind of do their own thing and if you don't fit, you don't fit. But I don't know. It was tough growing up with, that's for sure. Like
No,
saying
I'm
I'm going to the
sure.
movies. No, you can't go see this movie because it promotes this and the blah blah blahs Catholic Bishops Conference sees this as this and
Yeah.
you're not going to see that movie. Like every
No,
time I
that's
would go
yeah.
and like see a movie with a girl or something like that, it was always Doctor Doolittle too.
I saw the movie 32 times.
No, that's just what I told them I was going to see.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, once again, I've known you forever. Like, I've never really thought about what it would be like that had a dad that was super overwhelmingly like religious. Like, you and I would joke about it. Like, you would obviously tell stories and jokes, but like, I never like actually put myself in your shoes for a minute of like what that would be like. I'd feel misunderstood. I would feel like they're like robots sent, they're aliens sent from a different planet. Like I would think that they like are speaking a different language effectively, and they don't care what I
Yep.
think, or they don't even want to talk to me about it. They just want to like have me be a good little soldier, you know?
Yeah, that's
Um,
that's exactly how it felt.
yeah.
Yeah, it sucked. It
So
was
of course
really
he revolted.
obnoxious.
I mean, if
Yeah.
anything, it's his fault that he didn't, or both. Like my big pet peeve as a parent is I'm so scared of forgetting what it's like to be a kid by the time I'm like old enough to like treat them the right way. You know, like I'll forget what it was like to be 15 when I'm 45. Like that's what I'm so worried about.
That's one of my largest arguments about why I don't want to have children.
Well,
Because
you
I
know what
don't
I
want to
mean.
be like my father was to me because they had me when they probably shouldn't have had kids.
I'll say this. My one of my anecdotes to this problem, not one of my ways to solve this problem is what we're doing right now, which is remembering that shit
Oh yeah.
and having it on tape so that I can watch back this when I'm 45 and need some help with my life at the time. That's kind of what this
Yep.
podcast is about, actually, is like remembering what my life was like back then, 20 years from now, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely going to help, but I don't know. I don't want to say like the way that I was raised screwed me up because it didn't. I'm obviously doing fine and I've because of the way that he parented, I became resilient and I was always learning everything the hard way because I never listened and I just went out there and took risks and got my ass handed to me over and over again in life doing my own thing. But now I have experiences that I never would have experienced. I never would have gained the wisdom that I have now if I had just listened to my parents nonstop.
Yeah. No, as a kid, you got to make your own mistakes. That's the hard part, is I don't
Yeah.
know how to allow that or encourage it or not encourage it. It's really weird. Like when my daughter tries to go to the top of the jungle gym, ask me every day it's a different answer. It's like be careful or go for it. Like I really
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know what to teach her. If it's like hurt yourself, like that's how you grow, or if it's like don't hurt yourself, that's not how you grow. Like you grow by taking, knowing what step you're taking before you take it, kind of stuff. I don't know honestly, like how to teach somebody the right way. It's like it's really bothers me.
That's
Like
why I don't want to even be a part of it. Like I know what I did in my life and I wouldn't be able to look at my child and be like, "You can't do this, blah blah blah," because I did this and had such a blast when I was a kid, and it was stupid, but I still had fun doing it. And yeah, go for it. You know,
no, that's a
like
hard one. I'm not there yet. She's only 3, but I'm sure we'll get there soon. Like 5 or 6, probably. She'll like want to do something that I did and I know is a stupid idea. And like, so do I put her in the laundry basket and throw her down the stairs, and like have her
right.
roll down the stairs? I did that as a kid. Should I let her do that as a kid?
Yeah.
I think I'll
Should
let
I
her
let my
do it.
child press a hot iron to their hand just to know that it's hot to know they'll never touch an iron with recklessness ever again?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I think
Like,
it's our culture is to like let her go down the stairs in the laundry basket, but put extra pillows in it, and also like kind of have it on a rope so I can like make sure it doesn't go too fast. So
yeah, and be like, see what
it's
could have
like
happened.
pretending, yeah, like we're pretending that it's like the same experience I had, but it's really not. It's secretly safer. But I like to like I'm pretending she doesn't realize it, and she's
Yeah.
probably pretending that doesn't realize it either. So I don't know.
I just realized something though, like just having this discussion about how really messed up as a kid I kind of was, just not from anything that they did, but just myself. Like when I was 4 years old, I pressed a hot iron to my hand just to see what it would feel like. And I burned like all of my hand and everything. It was awful. And then I remember when I was allowed to use knives to cut an apple for myself, I just wanted to see what it felt like to get cut, and I sliced my finger open just to see. And then I realized that when I found out I could get money from the tooth fairy for my teeth, I was bashing blocks into my face and knocking out my teeth so I could get money. Like, I literally hurt myself as a child just for
Yeah,
the sake
man.
of being able to know what the pain is like.
Yeah, you were short-term gratification to the max, like to the point of hurting yourself for the gratification. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy to even think about. Like obviously now I don't do stuff like that. And
No, and if my kids started doing that, I would take them to a psychiatrist, right? Like I
right,
would be like, I would be really upset, like that they need help. And that's like it's hard. It's like so weird to like what is normal, you know? Like
right.
the range is ridiculously wide, you know. I think you still fell in the range of normal doing that is insane, like
Yeah,
being irrational. Like
because kids are nuts. It's just what it is. Kids' thought process is just something that we can't comprehend, even though we were kids. Like I can't comprehend that thought process. Like that's insane. Like, I can't imagine if my parents were to like see me doing that stuff before it happened and like what they would have done differently as a parent. Like what would they have done if they saw me press the iron to my hand and not me be like, oh, I burned my hand in the iron, you know?
yeah.
Like I don't know. That's just it's just nuts to really think about.
Yeah, no, if anything, like I don't know, you have to give kids a lot of leeway, like that they're gonna be total idiots and it's normal.
Yeah, which is fine. I can handle that. But I just don't. I don't know. I think I would be giving too much leeway, honestly, like way too much. I don't think that's another thing. I just don't think I would be a good parent because like comparatively to what I'm going to be up against and how I want to raise my kid, like I would freak out with my kid in public schools right now just because of everything that they would have to like I'm hearing Ashley's kids talk to me about the crazy nonsense that they have going on in their schools, and it's just nuts to think about.
Yeah. No, I hope I hope you become a parent one day, but you know,
Why?
I just think it's a cool thing that happens in life and it's more positive than negative, but you know, whatever.
I mean, it's I'm not saying it's not a cool thing, but like I don't know. I can't fathom wanting to do that. And like I just see this is how I'm thinking right now. I would hinder myself from so much. And I don't ever want to look at my kid and be like, if I didn't have you, I could do this. That's I can't do that. I
Yeah.
can't have that thought process in my head. I would feel so guilty on a regular basis, being like, "Hey, you should come out." No, I got the kids. Like, tons of my friends are saying they're like, "I got the kids, I got the kids, I got the kids," and like I'm thinking like, that's
Why?
awful.
Why? Yeah.
That sucks. You
Yeah.
literally miss out on so much. But like, not talking shit
No,
about
no.
anybody that has kids, but like, just for me, like I couldn't do that.
No, I mean, the secret is we all chose this, and we know that we chose it, and we're okay with it. Like it sucks. Like we want both. We want the kid and to do the fun stuff, but we've picked our team, and that's okay. You know, like
Right.
we're fine with our decision at this point. But um, yeah, it's I think the hard part is it just changes the equation on life, and so those things
Hmm.
like matter, but um I don't know. It just things just like I said, the purpose and everything just feel more simple and I don't know. I just feel more full every day. It like the hard part is like the day to day is like higher highs and lower lows than you've ever experienced.
Hmm.
And so like there isn't like there are moments, I guess. Like there's probably been like 10 moments so far in my 3 years with Low that like I had one of those like, oh shit, like I'm about to do or not do what my parents did to me. What do I choose? You
Right.
know? Yeah, and each time you're like, well, back when I was 16 and I told myself I would never do this, I was 16 and I told myself I would never do this. So, do
Right.
you listen to the 16-year-old or do you listen to you today saying that 16-year-old's wrong or right? Like, are you still that 16-year-old, or are you a different person now, and that 16-year-old is wrong? And out of the 10 times, I don't know. I think most times I choose that the 16-year-old was wrong. No, I choose that the 16-year-old was right in purpose, but wrong in solution. And I try to find a safer solution that still is saying no to the 16-year-old and saying, like, this kid should probably go to bed right now. But I'm not going to hit him over the head with that knowledge. I'm going to coax him into it. But I run into those. I'd say like once every 2 or 3 months, where it's a very literal. My parents did this exact thing to me. What do I do? Very literal, and I'm like, these kids, man. Like, what do you do? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I like part of me would say I want to do the exact opposite of what my parents did, but then part of me would say, but I'm here like this right now in this situation because of what my parents did.
No, but it's more like there's this thing in front of you that needs love and direction, and they're looking at you as the answer to their question of, am I allowed to do this or not? And it's hard because you're like, 16-year-old me wanted to do that so badly, and 32-year-old me telling you no, I know you want to do it so badly because I literally lived it and I literally know exactly what that feels like.
Yeah.
But I know that that's a bad idea now, and so therefore I don't know what to tell you. Like, because I literally know how you feel, and the answer is still no. Like, and you're still not allowed to ride your scooter without a helmet on. Like,
Right.
and I can't explain to you that, like, I'm sorry that you're wrong right now. I am, but you are. Like, it's so hard to like, because I definitely promised myself, my kids wouldn't, like, well, helmets are
Yeah.
helmets, whatever. Like, something stupid like that. It's very easy, but and so what do I do? I tried to, like, dress it up like we're both wearing helmets. Daddy's wearing a helmet, Lorelai's wearing a helmet. That's the family wears helmets, and that's just my way of, like, trying to wink at it and say, like, I'm doing everyone a favor here, like,
Yeah.
we're all happy, but I can't always come to those kind of solutions, so it's
No,
hard.
no. You can't expect yourself to though. Like, I mean, it's just not realistic to have the answer for every situation that comes up with a parent. Like, but
But
I mean,
no,
you
definitely
just
having kids, screw
what was that family? Yeah, it was a Family Guy episode where Peter's just like, "You ever thought about a late-term abortion?" He's like, she's 10 years old. I think it's a little late for that." No, 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 no. That's just a man trying to keep you down.
them.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Oh, yeah, I don't know, man. I really, I just can't
Uh,
see
kids
myself doing
are
it.
kids are like a big difference between the two of us, and I think it'll be interesting if we decide to keep talking about it or not eventually, because I think it's gonna be a fundamental thing. Like I've never fired a gun, and I'm sure there's like a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of adrenaline and stuff that you want to tell me all about, that you're gonna feel like I'm gonna feel if I ever fire a gun, that, like, I'll never, like, whatever, some I'm sure you can come up with something, that, like, is so cool that I will arguably have never felt it, so therefore not care, like, and not, like, not think it's a good idea.
Firing a
Like,
gun itself is firing a gun. It's really, it's nothing
that
special.
was my, like, try an example of something you've done that I haven't done that you would, like, want to talk on and on about, and I'd be like,
Ah,
I'm lukewarm about that, like, but it's because I've never
yeah,
felt it, you know.
yeah, yeah. I guess that's fair. I think the only thing that I really get excited about with shooting a gun is during a
Oh,
hunt, but like just
yeah,
shooting
killing
a gun,
something.
like
Yeah, yeah. How about your first kill? Like,
it's not about the kill. It's about feeling the sense of I can provide for myself.
fine, fine. The whatever. Yeah, the whatever the feeling is, the act of doing. I've never killed something like that on purpose.
Yeah,
I've never killed anything the intention of eating it.
it's a pretty cool feeling. It is, but it's not like I don't know. I wouldn't say it's life changing, but it in a sense it is life changing because you're
You
providing for
wouldn't say
yourself.
it's
But
like having a child.
no, no, it's not. Because having a child is the opposite of providing for yourself.
Right.
Unless you're thinking about it as I just need somebody to take care of me when I'm old.
I thought you were gonna say, unless you're saying I'm gonna eat this thing.
But yeah, exactly. No, but my mom says that. She's like, "What about when you're older? Like, who's gonna take care of you?" I'm like, if it comes to that, I would like to think my family would step in with nieces and nephews and things like that. I'm not going to have a child just for the sake of when I'm shitting myself, I need somebody to be able to wipe me. Like, I
No,
think that's even more selfish.
do you want to hear the dirty secret? Is I when parents say that to their kid, like you should have a kid because who's gonna take care of you?
They're
It's
just
because
saying,
that's
"I
like,
want you to take care of me."
well, obviously, but that's like they're what they're saying out loud is like you owe me. Like they're saying like there's been so many goddamn times where I had to clean up your poop and your puke and all this crap. Like
Yeah.
I literally got so much poop on me on Tuesday morning. So much poop on me. Like an insane amount of poop on me. Like a whole my whole arm was covered in poop, okay? And there's nothing on earth that makes you feel like this was a good life decision in that moment other than these kids are going to wipe my ass. I swear to God. You know,
Right.
like and
I
then
can't wait to just blow out a diaper as an adult.
I'm gonna switch to diapers at the age of 60
Exactly.
just for these kids.
These
Yeah.
damn kids.
So I'm saying after years and years of that, eventually your parent actually thinks that it's a good like the right thing to tell your child is like you need to take care of me because you owe me, but in a
Yep.
subtle way, but in a do it for yourself way, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Ugh. Honestly, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I really don't think I'm gonna live long enough to need that care. Honestly, like
Well, I think I got your life plan figured out now. We're gonna get you some regular gigs at a coffee shop or whatever.
okay.
That cute girl that you otherwise would be just slightly out of your league because she's an 11 and you're an 8, you know,
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm an 8.
sees you on stage and clearly a man of power and intrigue and you know heads your direction, you know, and then whatever you decide to have many children together, but um I think the first step is getting you to the coffee shop, right?
Yeah.
But I do think that's your ticket out of single land if you ever want to leave single land. I feel like being a musician is like a place of power, especially if it's not your only job. Because people, like people don't want actual musician husbands. They want like secret musician husbands.
Right.
They want like he does this for
He's
fun
a
musician.
urologist, but he also plays in an Irish folk band.
Exactly. That Irish folk bands kill on Tinder
Oh, I'm sure.
slash urologist.
What, Zoops? What? See? See? This is what I'd be like with kids. What do you want? No.
I say that once a day actually with these kids. What do you need? What do you need?
What can I do for you?
Oh, that's my favorite question. It's like I have to say it in a nice way so she doesn't know that I'm actually really upset, but I have to say, how can I help you with this?
Oh, love it.
'Cause she's always like stammering and like confused and like just upset that Cocomelon isn't on every screen in the house. Like something ridiculous is not
Right.
happening, and it's like, okay, how can we make? My favorite question is how can we make this better? Because she has to think that she's like, wait, what would be better? And then she goes, like something small, something stupid. And I'm like, okay, we can do that. We can make it a lot better with that, And then usually we're off to the races, like redirecting into not remembering
Yeah.
what we're talking about. But yeah,
Well, it's just like when the kid falls and smacks their head on the ground, like you just give them the the complex that they're about to get something better or they accomplished something. So like
Yeah,
whenever Ashley's kids would fall and hit their head on something and be like, "Oh my gosh, you broke the floor. Did you break the floor? You're so strong, your head broke the floor."
that's a
And
good one. Yeah.
that's it.
No, because
The,
they look at your reaction, right? If you're like, then they're scared, right? They're like, they're
right.
broken, you know? But if you're like, get up, you know, like they don't think anything of it.
Right. You ignore the problem, then the problem ceases to exist. To an extent.
Except for the concussion. The CTE always comes back somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's no,
Oh,
I keep wanting to talk about it because I'm really intrigued by that. I really didn't know you were getting back into guitar. I think that's so cool. I I only want to support you in that. And I think it's a really like good thing. I think it's really good for you. I think you're really good at it if you stick to it, you know, like I think it's something you could do for a long time if you want to, you know?
I just
Um,
wish I knew like the next step is to learn like music theory and like actually learn scales and stuff like that and really like take
well, that's what I
hold
was
of
going to
it.
propose when before you said you're already a musical genius who's going on tour is like I want to like let's do I'll do a super pack with you and I'll be like okay we're both going to do a minute a day 2 minutes a day like I I, I I'm I'm pretty close to accepting that that is my future like that is one of my goals in life that I'm willing
Hmm.
to put towards. I'm still hesitant right now because it's scary,
Of
but
course.
I am thinking about doing something like I'm doing with my workout, which is like for a week or two, it's gonna be 1 minute a day. For 2 weeks or more, it's gonna be 2 minutes a day. It's gonna be stupid, but eventually I'll be doing like 20 minutes a day. And if I could do 20 minutes a day for like 3 or 4 years, I'll actually be pretty good. So if I could be really good at guitar by the time Lorelai's like 6 or 7, you know, if I'm doing 20 minutes a day, like I'll be like pretty good when she's like 3 or 4 years from now. Then she'll grow up with a musical dad because she'll like won't remember anything before then,
Yeah.
you know? And she can't really play guitar, so she's like 7 or 8 anyways, or whatever instrument she wants to play. So I don't know. That's kind of what I was thinking about. I was like, I need to start it now if I want to be good enough to be helpful when she's of age. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it because it's scary because I've failed 5 times already. So I don't know.
I
But
mean, you only fail when you give up entirely.
right, and I've already
So
done that
you
five
haven't
times.
failed
So it's
yet.
a habit of mine. The pattern is failing, not succeeding. No, but
But
that's where I gotta start small though, and like really just take it slow, you know.
yeah. No, I think we could do that. I think we could get it together.
No, I've heard that if you can do scales for 20 minutes a day for like a year or two, that you're like pretty solid at guitar. Because you can do everything else. Like scales are 90% of learning guitar. So
But that's the thing, I could learn the scales, but I won't retain why I'm doing those scales. Like I really have to like start from the basics of music theory, learn what I don't know what a G chord is. I can't play a G chord. I can play a G chord, but if you told me play a G chord, I couldn't play a G chord. I don't know like I taught myself drums, but I don't know timing sequence. I don't know how to play a 4/4 or whatever. I'm sure I could, but I just don't know what that means. So it's like kind of a
yeah.
funny situation that I'm in because I've taught myself an unconventional way of how to play drums, how to play guitar, how to do all sorts of things, and now I can't unlearn those things.
Well,
You
I
know?
think on one hand you can like Dave Grohl literally plays his guitar upside down. Like, I mean, there's ways to play stuff if you like get into it. Like, who cares, right?
Right.
But I mean, on the other hand, I mean, putting 20 minutes in a day or something. Oh, sorry, my wife's calling me. Probably say good night. 1 second.
Yeah.